Captain Falcon, Sephiroth, and Banjo Kazooie. I have to say with a question mark, Banjo Kazooie?
Hey, that is another character that has been on the rise here, Rod, and I'm definitely excited to see what the character can bring, especially in a doubles environment, because I think of him as a setup character, and we're setting ourselves directly into the blast zone. Very unfortunate way for things to start there for SmokeyBacon and Animalant. And Fritz and Izzy over on the Falcon and the Yoshi will definitely take that as a way to improve their game.
Absolutely, and I feel like, the green team has one direction, and that is forward. I think you don't see that very often, but when you get two characters like Yoshi and Captain Falcon together, you know what the agenda is. I'm moving forward. I'm not slowing down. Yoshi, not short hop forwarder, up tilt, up air. I mean, we've seen how potent that is. And you have that in conjunction with Captain Falcon's just momentum-based gameplay. It could be a bad time for the other side. Now, I say that all with the implication that Sephiroth isn't going to swing that big old wonderful sword of his. Of course, not with the best options out of shield. Of course, you got that frame 9 there. Not the quickest option, but you have range galore. Jeez. Yeah,
I've seen Fritz and Izzy play before, and I'm definitely happy to see them thriving as well right now. You're talking about that Sephiroth. Of course, he is quite the light character and kind of a difficult character to sort of slot into a doubles team. He can be very potent, but you have to be really defined about what your role with him is going to be. And for the most part, that's going to be sort of a responder. You're going to be an assist to your teammate, right, where they're going to go in. And Falcon is going to do that a lot for Yoshi. Fritz and Izzy do both drop their first stocks, but are still playing with quite a lead. I'm shocked to see SmokeyBacon holding on at 181% with Banjo. I know that's a heavy bear, but are we really doing the whole Alaska?
I'm trying to tell you something right here, my friend. Come on, Banjo Kazooie is not to be trifled. After what we've seen at Battle of BC, this character I think is very much back on everybody's radar, and for good reason. It's not about what they do in the offense, the defense. Look at this. Using the eggs and the grenades right here to really preserve as much of the stock as humanly possible. But then on top of that, you have the physical attributes that makes Banjo so dangerous. That forwarder, slow on the startup, but I think like -5, -6 on shield, so when it hits with authority, and most importantly, it hits with safety.
And not only that, yeah, I mean, like you said, hitting with authority. We're going to see that combo game come out. And Animalant, also able to close out a stock right there. I think blue team, you see, they're able to play with the lead despite, like, literally a first 5 seconds SD. Doing a really, really good job of just kind of playing to their roles. We see that, I think especially what I'm loving is that Banjo's a very setup-based character, does finally go down to that untechable aerial off stage. But, being a setup character, it's kind of hard to get those kill confirms set up in doubles. It's a very chaotic and fluid environment. But I have to say, I love what Animalant has been doing. Not necessarily with that KO off the side, but just being able to split things up into a 1v1 and letting SmokeyBacon take care of things on stage.
Oh, 100%. I think, when you see setup-based characters, your heart really goes out to them in doubles because you see, like, Fox dash attack into up tilt into uppers. Like, does he really have enough time to get that? Same with characters like Kazooie or really any of the FGC characters. But I think, the blue team here is working with some different grease here, some different ingredients in the kitchen. Sephiroth, of course, not the fastest character at all. And honestly, the fact that they lived this long is a testament to how well Animalant is playing because Sephiroth hits like a ton of bricks, but as light as the feather on their back. Not looking good right here for the blue team. Banjo and Kazooie all by their lonesome. Yes, even though it's still two characters together, they are only by themselves. What is the turnaround going to be? We off stage with it. Directional air dodge. We back
able
in the
to make
corner.
It back, and no, that's a really key SD right there from Izzy. It's going to be down to Fritz versus SmokeyBacon to try to take this first game, and honestly, they're both in range to get taken out. I almost want to put my money on SmokeyBacon because we're in those percents where we can see a setup, especially with the Breagle Blaster, and a setup for the KO into the up tilt just like that. Rodney, we've seen it twice already in this set, and how about a third time?
I know that's right. You like it, but we love it back here on commentary. That's exactly the sort of innovation we were talking about coming into this very exact set. You want to be able to see people dig deep, think outside the box on setups. Here we were going in with, and come on, let's be honest, how many years we've been commentating Smash together? A long time. Setup characters have historically kind of struggled in doubles. Oh, you got to do your egg into your thing to finally get the KO. But if there's a will, there's most certainly a way. And that Banjo and Kazooie, that was some serious business. I love that.
A very unfortunate SD there, at the beginning, but an even more unfortunate SD at the end. Kind of thought that it would be defined by, the Banjo rocketing off screen at, 10% immediately with that downer, but it ended up being Izzy being a little bit too aggressive off stage with the Yoshi, trying to get that edge guard. Not really, I think, knowing exactly how much distance Banjo can cover even without having that grenade in hand to assist that recovery. And it's ended up getting baited into that bottom blast zone. And when it came down to that 1v1, it could have gone either way.
That is kind of Banjo's Achilles heel. It's like the same thing that makes him great is also the same thing that kind of hurts him because we've seen like the grenade infinite off stage. But again, that's a setup where if you thought you weren't getting your setups on stage, ain't no player in their right mind going to let your grenade infinite off stage to come back. We're doing away with that very, very quickly. So Let's see what the adjustments are going to be right here for the next game. It is Battlefield, a stage that all 4 players should be pretty familiarized with. So let's see how it all goes down.
Yeah, this is a good stage for Yoshi to be like a real engager because he's got such good aerial drift. He kind of tends to be a frontliner on a lot of teams. He can go either way, but particularly with a Falcon, I would expect, again, the Falcon to be sort of the responder. Let Izzy go up front and start opening things up, get the action started, and then Falcon can come in with all that speed and all that damage just coming through immediately. But yeah, I mean, Game 2 going to Battlefield, I almost kind of question it because you get even bigger Banjo setups if Animalant is able to lock down parts of the stage, and is able to do that because you're Sephiroth on Battlefield. You cover a lot of distance in one swing.
Yes, you do. And, you know, we talked about kind of the danger of not being able to go toe-to-toe in terms of, like, frame data and it's really just sheer output on damage, like, you know, with Captain Falcon or, you know, characters like Yoshi. But the fact remains the same. Sometimes being a distant demon is not just limited to your projectiles. Sometimes physically, if you could just keep short hop forward airing away and letting your teammate get the setups going, you might be in a good spot. Smooth stuff right there. Not even allowing Wonder Wing to get started. I've seen the beginning glow animation of that, but Fritz isn't having any parts of that at all.
Stocks are still even. I mean, like, the game is as dead even, I think, as it can get, you know, being a minute and a half into the game already. You know, kind of just definitely like a slugfest of just, all right, let's get our straight hits, not really looking for anything too particular. I do love that Wondering right there from SmokeyBacon to cover the teammate coming down. And Izzy, again, coming down off stage without the resources to make it back. We'll be dropping that stock eventually, but also down goes the Sephiroth, so Stock's game still right back to even as it were.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive in that corner right there from Animalant, but for good reason. I mean, you had a little bit of rage. Of course, Captain Falcon stocks are not speaking to his favor at all, same with the percent. So you're like, I'm going to nair this shield. It's not my best option, but it is my quickest option up close out of shield. I'm going to nair. Unfortunately, kind of came back to bite them in the butt, but that's okay, though. Still looking good at only 48%. And again, it seems like the blue team has kind of switched spots. In the set previous, it was Banjo, you know, that was kind of like, I'm going to just hold on to these stocks, and then when it's time to get busy, I'm going to let my eggs and grenades get the job done. But now they switched. Sephiroth is living to just crazy percents, and I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah, so letting Sephiroth sit on that back line. Again, not being the one on the front. I mean, you talked about it, right? In doubles, it's very chaotic. You're going to be using that nair a lot, but that's not by a long shot Sephiroth's best move just off of what it can open up for you. Because it's fast, it's because you're able to throw that out in those close quarter situations, but not necessarily what you want to open people up with. So having Sephiroth on that back line, really good. But Izzy also looking really good with that nair to take out that stock, putting Animalant down on 1 remaining.
Now, we talk about, you know, how important it is for the blue team to sometimes cool their jets to become the most elusive, the most evasive character on the screen. But we've seen that sort of mentality come out from Yoshi. We don't get to see it very often because Yoshi really has one direction and it's forward. But when sometimes Yoshi's like in spots like this, they know, okay, you're going to try to approach me aggressively to get this job done. I'm going to start playing the nair out of shield game. And that's where Yoshi gets very, very dangerous because nair is already frame 3. I mean, this move right here, when it gets tossed out in a big way. Speaking of big things getting tossed out, SmokeyBacon coming through. A lot of bear rage right there in the corner.
Fritz getting tossed into the blast zone, and now so too does Izzy. And they leave that share stock off the table just to let Izzy be in the 2v1. And honestly, I think that's the right choice. I think that Yoshi's got that responsiveness, the ability to kind of switch between targets at will, where Falcon's got to be really choosy about where he goes. But it's going to be up to Izzy to make this comeback against, I mean, honestly, Smokey and Animalant, they've both been looking really, really solid in terms of, like, doubles awareness, team combos, going to save each other, recognizing when they need to disengage. They've been doing a great job of that. I want to see some of those stacked up, nice and nasty team combos.
That's right. That's what Homemade Waffle says. I need the Homemade Waffle Happy Feet Wombo combo. I needed an ultimate too.
Ooh, okay? Or we don't need it. In fact, the egg is just enough. You talk about waffles, we're getting eggs instead for breakfast.
I mean, good morning. Here we go. Here's the dash attack. Holding down the middle of the stage right here and trying to play the floor is lava game. That up tilt, great party starter. Same with up air and Banjo's toolkit. Of course, not the hardest hitting move, not the most damage, you know, sound move, but, you know, it definitely gets the job done for, again, another setup in Banjo's kit. Grenades pushing them out of favor. 2% differential between these two. And I'm going to Wonder Wing in that exact order. Let me take it to the Midwest where farming is appreciated, okay? I know that's right, friends. Let's see who's going to get farmed right here in this match. We're moving into our second set right here, game number 1. And looks like we have a little bit more DLC than what we've seen in some of the sets prior. This is going to be great, man. We got, of course, Pyra and Mythra. I think those are 2 characters in one character, I guess, technically, that we should be very acclimated with. Terry Bogard, Scary Terry is present, and I feel like it's so fitting because we are in the fighters area here at Dreamhack. So this is us kind of paying homage to our FGC brethren over there.
I also see the 214 in K-Kev's name. I don't know. I mean, that is a Dallas area code.
Okay, nice.
But that is also quarter circle back, so, you know, that is his teammate.
Okay.
So, you know, K-Kev's on the Lucas, but he might be instructing his teammate, hey, a little bit more crack shoot, a little bit 2-1-4.
That's right. Give me them disjointed legs, okay? I want to be able just to come through and just kill every projectile that's flying at me. Why? Because Sakurai said so. All right, gold meter is present right here, so things are going to get a little bit more dire. Up air coming through. Of course, playing the, oh my goodness, the floor is lava. There's a little bit of lava for you right there. The power, a geyser, as Terry Bogard likes to say. And he's cooking in a big way right here. 3 stocks, of course, work with a lot of rage and, more importantly, a whole lot of go.
I have to say, by the way, I'm still in shock that Terry Bogard is going to have an English voice actor, just like a proper native English speaker. It's just like, you know, I'm happy for the guy. You know, as a fellow voice actor,
Yeah,
I'm like,
get your
okay,
money.
yeah, get your bag, and that's great for you, right? You get to be Terry Bogard, but also I'm like, it's not right if he's like, are you okay?
That's right.
Buster Wolf.
That's right. That's right. I mean, he's saying in size 48 caps, okay? That's what it was written as in the script. Size 48 caps. Are you
Bold
okay?
underlined italic.
That's right. It was like on the tier list of Are You Okay? It's like, Are you okay? Then there's like Michael Jackson, Andy, Are you okay? Then there's like, boom, Are you okay? That's where we need this at. So great stuff right here, of course. Yellow team bleeding out a little bit, of course, in a very fighting game character sort of thing. You know, when you get caught off stage, that's kind of not where you need to be. Terry, of course, blessed with some different recovery options, of course, has 2 different sort of up specials on the way back up. Then, of course, has crack shoot to kind of change that trajectory back towards the stage. But got caught slipping out there, of course. You know, again, you're going up against a character with a disjoint, and when they swing with some authority. But wait a minute. Luigi leaving the top of the screen. What is to come of this?
Love that response there from K-Kev, recognizing, okay, like Luigi wanted to follow up on my teammate, get that down B going. Well, now you're all the way up there and you're at those high percents. So easy enough to take that stock. And, you know, even though blue team has had some of those explosive moments, honestly, if K-Kev's able to hang on to the stock, as I say that, you can see the truth is that he will not. But game is still definitely not out of hand for them, right? Just a couple of big moments for blue team have really put them ahead, but things can turn around just as quickly. This is Smash Ultimate. Hold on a second, though. K-Kev off stage.
Uh-oh, and again, that's how you handle the Earthbound boys off stage. Early is on time. If you're on time to punish PK Thunder, you're already too late. Smooth stuff right here, but of course, a little bit off the mark. And yeah, you know, we talked about the importance of setups and how well that they work sometimes in doubles. Not quite working the same way with Terry in this sense. Again, you know, you need that down tilt, you need that initial something into that something, and down tilt, of course, being frame 6 and -6 on shield. One of the more potent party starting options, but Mythra coming through with some potent party ending options. Wrap this up, they said. Game number 1 is done.
What a scoop with that neutral B. That was a...
Yeah, that was smooth.
Look, I mean, that was a risk, because if you whiff that, I'm pretty sure you're dead. I think that was burning the double jump to throw that out. And yeah, you got the stocks to play with, but it looks so nice.
It looks so nice. That's a cherry on top right there. That was the chef's kiss to end that match. And also just to send a message, you need to watch how you play. On stage is one story. Again, Terry, very, very dangerous. Again, we talked about down tilt, crack shoot, power geyser, burning knuckle, all those wonderful things that makes Terry the second wave of DLC magic that he is. You don't want to play with him incorrectly, but the fact of the matter is off stage, all those types of characters are going to struggle a little bit. So I think we got some character switches over here, though. Come on and talk to me.
It appeared that the Luigi was too effective. We're going to the monkey.
Oh,
DK.
Wait a dang minute.
Donkey Kong. And Yellow Team also switching up both of their characters as well. So now we've got 4 anime sword characters and 1 big gorilla.
That's right. Jesus, this is going to be crazy. Again, a lot of anime swords being swung around here on this stage. Curious to see how it's all going to unfold. All 3 of them, of course, comprise of some slightly different ingredients, but they also share a lot of similar attributes. But the one I'm focused the most on is probably Cloud. Again, even though Limit doesn't stay the majority of the whole match, as we know, it's still a big difference maker. Cloud, of course, very, very dangerous on how they're going to pressure off stage and in the corner. But recovering to stage, you might have a cape, but you can't fly, Mr. McStrife. You're done.
Yeah, I like the idea right there from Joe Mama on the Cloud right there, trying to get back to the stage without burning the air dodge, because it's a big commitment. Is able to go back to the ledge right there, barely missing out on that edge guard from that DK right there. Definitely could have totally turned the tide of the game. But a big forward smash does bring things right back for the yellow team. That will immediately be turned around, though, man. The Pyra and Mythra, where did the stock go?
Jeez.
What happened on the right side?
Look,
what happened, Ron?
I got to keep it a bucket. Here I was worried about just how important back here with Cloud is. I mean, we've seen that move as a big just difference maker in a lot of matchups. It's -3 on shield. Once you get caught in the corner, you apply that type of pressure to where you can force your opponent off stage and your teammate can get the party started. But didn't see any of that. This has just been Cloud kind of getting smacked around by this really angry ape. And I get it. Donkey Kong is not to be trifled with. But you got to be able to swing back. You do have a sword in your hand, and historically, DK competitively has struggled with that. But wait a minute. You off stage again?
Limit in hand. I like the idea of the high up B to try to burn the recovery.
Oof.
Do you have the wherewithal to make it back? I would have
me.
liked the stock trade in another universe, but down in the game, that can definitely seal your fate. 4 stocks to 2 right now is the score in favor of blue team. And honestly, I mean, some of these stocks have just gotten cleaned up so quickly that yellow team and their steady sword fighter, rack up that damage, control the space pace, has not been able to match just the die instantly juice that the blue team has been bringing. And there is another little taste.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead and get you a to-go plate, if you will, since you like the taste so much. Great stuff right here on the blue team side. And again, this is just anything but good right here if you're the yellow team. I appreciate the switch. Cloud is a wonderful doubles character, but unfortunately, just kind of getting tossed by the wayside.
Oh, no.
You don't.
We're
Yeah,
going
goodbye.
all the way.
Yeah, goodbye. You just got Smash 64 for me. But I'll tell you what, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch, like you said, come on, it definitely does. And now we talked about Incineroar just a little bit before, and how fun and how much to the audience this character plays. But now we have to see this character done competitively. And I'm always a little worried because Incineroar, it lives the life of an extreme person. It's like either I'm going to be bodying, or I'm going to leave in a body bag. I mean, that's it.
I can give you some good news, Rob,
I'm
because for
listening.
one, we're looking at Incineroar in doubles where he is
Yes.
quite a bit more effective. And on the other hand, being piloted by, I mean, one of the most legendary double teams in the region.
Talk to
one
me.
of the most legendary doubles
Woo!
teams, rather. Army and Kurry, who are immediately off to a solid start, taking their first stock off of the Wario. I'm trying to figure out who's who on that team. But Incineroar is going to hit hard. Kurry is always going to be incredible on this character. And Army on the other side, also always a threat, although the first stock is gone for both members. Wow, okay, 3 stocks down on blue team already, and Kurry holding on.
Incineroar, I choose you. Man, whoa. Now that was some crazy gameplay right there on the right side. Again, try to get as many pummels in as possible with Wario. That was a little bit more difficult because I believe Wario's pummels 2 frames. Everybody else's is 1 frame. Don't know why he ended up getting the short stick like that, but unfortunately he did. So couldn't quite get as much damage going. Ends up getting caught off stage and then clipped with the reverse side of Incineroar's up special. Jeez, that was crazy. Oh my goodness, and Incineroar, I mean, look, if you were worried that this character wasn't going to bring the hype for you here in this double set, you need not worry anymore because Army's definitely bringing the one-man army right here. It is the Incineroar show, and I'm hard-pressed to find anybody to change the channel.
Yeah, I mean, again, Army and Kurry, like, Army has always been known for the Olimar, right? Kurry, I think at the beginning of the game, played some more Snake and then went over to a bit more Incineroar. Will get shot into that right blast zone, though. The hammer coming out to take that first stock off of him. But the fact that we're into the 2v1 and Kurry still had all 3 of his stocks, I think it really speaks to just the power and the synergy that this team has. Again, Army and Kurry, brothers, 2 of the best doubles players in the entire region, and they will always show up to Dreamhack because they can make it out here, and why not show off the prowess?
I mean, I don't think the double synergy gets any stronger than siblings. I mean, we've seen that just here throughout Smash in general. We've also seen how dangerous Olimar is off stage. Love that back here to go ahead and close out with the blue Pikmin right there, just to show you that I can do the same thing with the blue Pikmin that I can do with all the other ones, okay? It don't matter at this point. You're cooked. Great stuff. And honestly, good job right there to cover each other's weaknesses. Again, Incineroar, great character. Design kind of lopsided, but in doubles, like you said, comes alive a little bit more. Pikmin and Olimar, great character. Has some good get-out-of-jail cards like Frame 2 Whistle. The pressure's too thick. I'm going to whistle my way out of this. But Incineroar being able to control as much of the ground as they can up close and personal. And then you have the strong ground game that is Pikmin and Olimar. That is a recipe for disaster for the other side.
I mean, 2 characters that are going to mostly, I think, thrive at like a somewhat close range together, I feel like. Because, yeah, Olimar can, be played as more of a zoner, but he's not like a long-range zoner. He's not really like a Samus or anything like that because he's a very slow character, right? Both Incineroar and Olimar have very, very slow speed, just kind of overall. And the question is, how are you going to hit them without getting hurt, without getting striked back at? And, Pokemon Stadium 2 could generally be a pretty good venue for it. But the fact that, we've seen Kirby and Wario on the other side, right? You have to get up close to get things started. And, that's just, that's entering the grinder there.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you're actually just in the eye of the tornado. The tornado that is the F5, Incineroar and Pikmin and Olimar all up in
The
there.
tornado we had like 20 miles north of the venue a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
While I was at Combo Breaker.
Oh, man.
I looked down at my phone and I was like, I know the Combo Breaker venue just got struck by lightning, but I'm glad I'm not down in Texas right now.
Right. Mother Nature says I have some things to say these days, okay?
It's literally like 2 miles away from my college campus. I was like, okay.
Oh, and
okay,
wait, we got a character switch too, so no Wario. Look, I actually like the idea of Wario. Wario's a great character. Frame 5 down tilt and dash attack, so I mean that just changed right into itself. You got the Nair. I mean you just have a really solid toolkit But again, like you mentioned beautifully before, you have to get up close and personal to get that party started. Now, of course, K-Rule, you have the crown, you have some longer range options, especially physically. But what are you? I'm curious to see what the trade-off is going to be, because right now the stocks are just flying on the right side of the stage, and things are just not looking good for the blue team.
Kurry actually just did a slam dunk contest. He did an off the backboard into the blast zone, and then immediately a slam dunk with the alley-oop from Army. Just, it was such a great way to get that started. And again, you know, we're talking about that K-Rule switch potentially being really good. We are on Omega PS2, by the way, which I only noticed just now.
Yes, true, true. What the? Whoa.
No platforms here. This is Final Destination, baby.
Okay, I guess we're doing something a little different here, man. We must be at E3. That's what this feels like. This is the E3
we're
demo.
We're in Omega form, and we still can't get off of PS2. This is peak Smash Bros. Action, isn't it?
We can't win. We cannot win. I tell you. Oh, wait a minute, and then goes deep for the nair. Smart to not try to go for the spike. Of course, as you know, the active hitbox side is that helicopter on the way up. Might have thwarted that option. I love that split-second decision-making right there from Kurry, living up to the name. I love that, just pulling up deep, man, hitting those threes off stage.
And it's just going to be one more. Yep, little forward smash going right over Olimar's little spaceman head. And that will be a quick 2-0 for our...
We know quite a bit about for obvious reasons. And King DDD and more Yoshi, I'm here for it.
I think that King DDD is a phenomenal doubles character.
Same.
By the way, you've got great zone control. You've got huge and powerful hitboxes. And we're just going out there immediately, design that first stock drop in just 13 seconds. So King DDD showing off exactly why he is such a threat right out of the gate.
He's kind of the anti-meta in a lot of ways. But I mean that as like tastefully and respectfully as possible, because he's still eclipsed by the characters that are better than him. But he has certain tools in his kit that some of the characters that beat him up, if they fall victim to it, it's over. Like the Star Fox character. They're going to beat DDD up all day until it's going to hit a certain point. Okay, now it's my turn to swing the hammer. Oh, are you off stage, Mr. MakLoud? You're in trouble. So, you know, he has some anti-meta qualities in him. Obviously not the best character in the world, but really gets to strut their stuff here in doubles. And trying to keep up the aggression dash attack. Love that move lasts quite a bit of time. Always throws people's timing off as they're coming up off the ledge. Back throw.
And the Yoshi out there off stage. I would normally expect Yoshi to be like the big frontliner in this team composition, right? DDD to be a responder, but they've kind of both just been happy to sort of take 1v1s as they come, although a very nice recognition right there off of that jab, confirming, getting that up tilt afterwards to close out that stock. And man, I am loving what Aloya is bringing with this DDD. So much damage in so many quick bursts. Will drop that first stock, but blue team is working with a very healthy lead.
That's right. Now, the real question is, can they maintain it? Because once Young Link starts Young Linking around the place, it can get kind of dangerous for the other side. But it looks like King DDD kind of putting them on punishment right there. Go to your room indeed. I'll see you out in the blast zone. Beautiful stuff right here. Blue team moving up another stock, and I completely spaced on how defensively sound this Yoshi is. A lot of nair out of shield, nair out of egg, whatever you want to call it. That nair is not to be taken lightly. Okay, nothing off the down smash. It's looking good, but it certainly looked better. Back to the ledge again. And yeah, I'm trying to swing big at this point. That sense of desperation is starting to come through.
I do want to bring up that fact that, yeah, you pointed out that we're looking at Mexidan play a little bit more of like that slower Yoshi, a bit more of a stock tank. And I think that's just kind of a virtue of Aloya being just a very aggressive DDD, like an unusually aggressive DDD. And I love people who say, you know what, I have my play style, and this is my character to play. Yeah, maybe aggression would be more suited to like a Roy or a Fox or whatever, but I'm playing DDD and I want to get in people's faces, and doubles is the best environment to do that. Does get the teammate in trouble right there. Mexidan does drop that first stock, but blue team, I mean, still sitting on 2 apiece. DDD at 112 might as well be a normal character at 60.
Oh, seriously. I mean, this character can live for quite a bit of time, as you can see right there. Forward air on the lesser individual definitely would have taken him out right there in the ledge, especially to be at that right percent of like 130 plus. But this is DDD, very large and most certainly canonically in charge of some things. Not looking to relinquish that stock here at all. And trying to play this one safe, of course, throwing the timing off on some of these aerials that Young Link has. You do have up air, but you cannot air dodge through, and it's very, very hard to work around. However, DDD's workaround is I got multiple jumps. Okay, so even if I don't want to come back down and give you that air dodge, I'll just use one of my 10,000 jumps in the air. I'm good to go.
Really nice self-preservation right there from Aloya, realizing, okay, like wanted to wait for the teammate to kind of get on the ground and help get out of that ledge trap situation, but didn't even need it, and the stocks just fly there at the very end for it to close out in blue team's favor. Just that up air, just that back air, whatever you want. Those red team stocks are now gone. Blue team, with those heavy characters, not minding to play those 1v1s where that can generally be you know, a bit more dangerous for them. In doubles, I think they tend to want to stick together, and they did get a couple of, you know, team combos, couple saves here and there, but it was mostly just, hey, PS2 is a big stage. It is big enough for 2 people to have 1v1 battles at the same time, so let's just go for that.
Yeah, like,
and it worked.
Let's just share that dance. I mean, I get it. You know, I think another thing, too, to take into consideration is that, you know, if you have Young Link on DDD, you're hitting DDD, you're getting your strings, you're doing all the wonderful things that makes Young Link the dangerous little character that he is. But by the time the rest of the match catches up, you've gotten DDD at a percent where you put some good percents on, but you haven't actually KO'd him, and you're not even anywhere close. And you've also given him rage. So now he gets the breakaway, and now when you interact with him again, you have to swing a little bit more carefully here. DDD is such a strange character in dubs.
I was going to say, and that's part of the point where, like, as the Young Link, you want to have that Byleth nearby to be able to just kind of throw out something like that up air, like a forward air, to try to close out that stock after you've built up all that damage. Like, I kind of look at this team comp, and I think, yeah, like, you know, you probably would expect Young Link to be a bit of a frontliner, have that quick frame data, but again, we see the game just keeps getting broken up into these 1v1s, and that is working out really, really well for Blue Team because they are confident in their ability to just kind of take on the Red Team.
That's right. Disjoints or not, they don't seem to care much, and for good reason. I think a little bit of confidence certainly goes a long way in doubles. You can see right here, Nice getting the KO off the top of the screen. So smooth stuff again. DDD getting rid of. Oh, wait a minute.
Teammate! That is your teammate. You just bonked on the head. All 3 stocks have been taken courtesy of this DDD.
He said everybody can get some. Love that dash attack in the corner. And yes, I'm just going to swing this hammer. And there's not really going to be much you can do about it, especially if you try to go for the high recovery. Now, if you elect to go a little bit more under the ledge, DDD now has to try to line up either a down air or some sort of perfectly timed air. But if you line up eye to eye with DDD, it's just the forward air show. Okay, not looking good right here for the red team. That stock is getting put to bed. Blue team is going to be moving on here pretty soon, I feel.
Now we've just got Mexidan, again, locking things down in the corner. And you see red team is now trying to stick together, right? They're trying to be up close to each other to get these team combos. They both wanted some of that work right there. They both wanted to start tacking on that damage, but, you know, end up hitting each other out of what could have potentially been a really optimal team combo. Does slug back with that back air, though, so we'll see if Design and Pico can bring this one back.
Let's see. It's going to take a little bit of resiliency right here, and most importantly, some pure brilliancy, but it's not looking good. Gets the rapid jab in the corner, getting as much damage off of these little minor interactions as possible, but Byleth, unfortunately, has exited the match. And now, the same could be said right here for a Young Link as well. I certainly had that character placed a certain place in my mind, but now it's starting to move up that tier list. So this is going to be great. We're moving on to the next set here. And wait a minute. Is this who I think it is? Are they back again?
This is the return of Army and Kurry on one side with that Incineroar and Olimar. I do see Danby on the other side, and if I'm not mistaken, MyKO, his teammate Michael on the Game & Watch. One of the local legends, one of the people who shows up often and is, again, speaking to that depth that there is in Dallas and in Texas, just kind of overall. MyKO definitely one of those players. Really, really solid Game & Watch. Really excited to see how it goes, but first of all, you got to keep Danby safe, who's normally such a great stock tank in doubles. Well, that first stock has been tanked.
And it's going to be tough. I think the red team has completely shifted their focus on just the ideology of what Yoshi could bring to the table if done correctly, here in doubles. And for good reason. I mean, this is Danby, who's ready to bring the pain. However, I do feel like Danby might have to watch how they swing just a little bit. You can't swing willy-nilly and haphazard on Incineroar. He's waiting for you to short hop down. He's waiting for you to just to forward air because that's just what you do to space. He times that revenge properly, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. Boom. Again, another one. Ended up revenging. Revenging? Is that a thing? Revengering? Revengering? Something like that.
Being a revenger.
Being a revenger, okay?
That's an anime.
Get Thor on the phone. We're the Revengers. Doing that, and then, of course, being able to catch Game & Watch's up special. I mean, again, Incineroar is just locked in right now in a way that I don't know if the blue team's going to be quite ready for, depending on how this wraps up.
I mean, this is something that I'm intimately familiar with as an Incineroar player who has played against Danby before. Really, really good defensive play. But, I mean, once you get opened up, he is going to continue to lay on the hurt. And, you know, so far have done a really good job of that. This is a pretty even set, all things considered, things being 2 stocks apiece for each of these players. And, again, Pokemon Stadium 2, if you're able to neutralize maybe the threat of either the Incineroar or the Olimar, right? I think if you pick one, right, you've got the room to play with as the blue team to really force them into cahoots. But Danby's second stock gone. I think the red team has done a really good job of focusing on him. Great DI up by Danby. You don't normally think about DIing at those low percents. You kind of think of things as sort of guaranteed, but in doubles, you have to know that there could be something else cooking.
Yeah, that down throw almost leading into that up smash. Certainly shades of what's to come here pretty soon. Blue team has to be on high alert, of course. Game & Watch, strong singles character, pretty good doubles character, but I can't lie, little light, to be in a match like this. Gonna have to figure out a way to find their spot here, but maybe not in this game. Has one more stock left.
You get tossed on the ropes, you get tossed on the ropes, you get launched out of here. It is just it's a Lollapalooza in this one in game number 1, but it does leave MyKO to make a 3-stock-to-1 comeback, which, Game & Watch is a good character, but that's a tall order for just about anybody.
It is. It's definitely a task much easier said than done right there, courtesy of that throw into up smash. The brothers are bringing the pain. Jeez.
They are just so dang good at doubles. And again, MyKO and Danby, two very solid doubles players in their own right. Danby at one point was a #1 in DFW and
really
has been, consistently been on that PR. Although I know he hasn't been lately as much attending stuff. He does have a, job life, everything to take care of there. And I know Army and Kurry to an extent do have that too, so it's definitely no excuse there. But, even though Danby and MyKO look solid, Army and Kurry look dominant, and that is a slight bit better than solid.
Yes, it is. Of course, they've just been able to just really have their way throughout the majority of that match. Again, we talked about it before. I'll say it again. Just the importance of controlling the ground game versus a character like Yoshi and Game & Watch is huge. Now, I know, of course, Game & Watch is going to struggle against disjoints, swords, if you will. Red team doesn't really have that, but what they do have to kind of circumvent that is a very strong ground game, and you have a character like Pikmin and Olimar who can play the long-range game in a way where Game & Watch might be a little uncomfortable in doubles. Singles is a different story. In doubles, I'm a little uncomfortable playing this game because by the time your aerial stuff has stopped, your teammate is already covering your weak spot, and I don't want to deal with Incineroar at all, and for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, again, Incineroar is the nightmare scenario to deal with in doubles, but great pickup right there by Danby. He says the nightmare has been solved, only 2 more to go. It's about to be a rough week, but nonetheless, is able to clean up that first stock. Really excellent stuff. Great teamwork by the two of them, but as I say that, great teamwork by the red team as well.
That's right. I mean, again, they're just improvising on the fly and figuring it out, and I'm loving every part of this. Red team keeping a horse in this race, but the blue team, of course, answering back right here in a bit more of a dominant fashion. I think in game number 1, they kind of got, again, just wow. Well, you know what? Forget whatever I'm about to say because they are in large and most certainly in charge. Red team trying to answer back. I love that perfectly placed nair off stage. That boot, a lot of players of all stature have fallen victim to the Yoshi boot, so I get it. But red team right here trying to keep it as close as possible, but I feel like the blue team has that steam right now, and I don't know if they're looking to relinquish it, at all.
I mean, definitely, again, getting to play with a lead against red team is a luxury, and you can tell that because of, the early lead that they got off to, and yet Army and Kurry able to bring that back pretty much immediately, and another stock getting cleaned up on Danby, who's normally, I think of him as one of those, extremely well-rounded players, right? Somebody who can play in any way that you can imagine. But I think that, normally I think he's more comfortable being kind of a stock tank, not necessarily as much a frontliner in doubles. Yoshi can be really good at that, but I think that red team has done such a good job of focusing down on him that kind of forcing his hand. And MyKO, meanwhile, able to clean up a stock as well, so the game stays even.
Stays even, but for how much longer is the real question right now. Again, you kind of have the red team in a weird spot. You have Incineroar right now who has to preserve the stock as much as possible, so he might have to play like the nair out of shield revenge game, where now Army has to be the one to kind of move forward and kind of hold the front line down. However, blue team, wait a minute, has kind of forced Olimar's hand. Army, it ain't looking too good right now, but wait a minute, it certainly looked better.
And MyKO stock tank is able to hold on a little bit longer. Danby gets back, and yeah, you almost always want to do that share stock. You almost always want to be able to have a 2v2 as long as you can. And honestly, Danby, again, he's going to be very potent in those 2v1s. And hold on a second, the stock has gone quickly.
The forwarder in the corner. I mean, again, when you're forward airing on stage is one thing, and Incineroar is waiting for it. In the corner, catching you hanging out and loitering in the corner, nah, you in some real trouble right now. Blue team looking to leave Olimar black and blue, but not before eating this F smash. Wait a minute. What is the adjustments going to be? Because if I get the right combination of Pikmin, I got the Lakers right now. I got a yellow and I got a purple. Red one's left the building. There's down there off the top. On to the next game.
Really solid stuff there from Danby. A couple of times we saw him pick up with that down air where a lot of people might think, I'm not in range for the up air. I don't know if nair would connect, right? Really awkward situation, but knowing that Yoshi has just that crazy, crazy high double jump and that you're going to be able to carry that distance with that down air, and it is a kill move off the top.
Yes.
Great in the moment recognition by Danby. Again, just a great highlight of him being one of those just like really intelligent and well-rounded players that is not really ever going to get caught off guard in a game.
100%. I mean, I think the true testament of how good you are at this game is not how well you're playing when things are going good, but how well you play when your back is against the wall. Okay, the 2v1 kind of went by the wayside. That's usually shades of something devastating to come. Once I've completely mounted the 2v1, now you got to see me one-on-one. But he's like, you know what? Let's do it. I'm actually down to run the 1v1. And obviously the percents weren't quite speaking to, Army's favor. However, let's see how this next one goes right here. This is game number 3.
Game number 3, and got to bounce back from the way that one ended for the red team. I mean, Army, brought it down to that 1v1, even though it was a 2v1 situation. I think we did highlight, a little bit of, how well the blue team kind of tried to play that 2v1. But Army, I think, did a really, really good job of recognizing, okay, the game and watch at the high percent. That means that Damby's going to be on the front line trying to get aggressive, try to put pressure on me so that my KO can kind of hang out in the back, not get hit by anything stray. And Army found a really, really solid moment to just kind of dash past the Yoshi, get right up to my KO, and then got a really good read on him trying to run back to the other side of the stage to escape with that forward smash to bring it to that 1v1. So again, I think you get that knowledge and that just how well-rounded Army is as a doubles player specifically.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a heightened level of just like innovation and really just situational awareness in your mind when you play a character like Pikmin and Olimar. I mean, you are not only, having to control all of your tools, and they're everywhere on the screen. You also have to know how to get over there in time and have the right option to break up the party. Jesus, on the topic of things getting broken up, there was the throw, narrowly escaping what was looking to be death there if charged up properly enough. Yes, Game & Watch, not the heaviest guy in the world. Up smash has certainly been detrimental, but still looking good. There's another up smash for your trebles. You have to watch how you play in the air around Incineroar. I know a lot of the most dangerous tools that makes Yoshi, nair, forward air, falling up air, you name it, comes out of an aerial, but you have to watch up smash on Incineroar.
That was a bit too early from my KO to try to engage. You heard me go, don't. I was like, that hitbox on that Alolan Whip is still going to be active. When you've got that revenge, it stays out for so much longer, and in doubles, you have to be wary of that collateral hitbox, and instead of blue team having that super solid lead, or rather keeping things close right now, they're actually being brought down to a pretty devastating situation, although both of those stocks from red team go by the wayside quickly. So if Damby's able to go back to what he likes doing, being that stock tank, being a responder in doubles, as I like to call it, then blue team definitely not out of it yet, but red team continues to just hold on to this lead.
They've allowed Damby to apply that rage thoroughly, but maybe not thorough enough. Unfortunately enough, blue team in the deficit. If they can figure out a way to maybe play to some of the weaknesses that the red team has traditionally, which is the off-stage presence, they should be good to go. No, wait a minute. Yeah, off-stage, but I don't need to be there. But wait a minute. I'll be there.
Hold on. With this, suddenly, this is a very solid blue team lead. Kurry, nice juggle, though, brings it down to an even game. Slightly red team favored with that damage on Damby, and now with a revenge for Kurry as well, which continues to climb percents for blue team. What looked like they had just gotten this game back into their hands is suddenly slipping out of it like butter.
That's right. There's the frame 3 nair, using that to just, again, traverse the majority of the stage here on Pokemon Stadium. If I'm going to get from one end of the stage to the other, I need to have one of my best and, more importantly, one of my safest options out leading the charge. But unfortunately, Damby all by their lonesome. Can they edge out the 2v1 in a way that we had to see in game number 2? Okay, percent's a little too high. There's forward air for your troubles. And again, if I'm moving from one end of the stage to the other, the boots are out.
I wish you could see how locked in Damby is right now. Not too tilted, but does get smacked out of the air. He won of where the grass grows. It grows right here in Dallas. And we've got 4 Dallas homegrown players as well. 4 best friends in all 4 of these players. I mean, you go to any local, all 4 of these guys go to tons of locals. And if they're all 4 at the local, they will be hanging out with each other. Johnny and Atomic versus Beastly and Varun5, the artist formerly known as Trey5. Yeah, I mean, all 4 of these guys very familiar with each other, very good friends, and I bet that they are ready. I mean, all 4 of these guys were literally sitting down next to each other earlier playing Smash together.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's camaraderie right there.
And here we are in winner semifinals of Dreamhack for Smash Doubles.
That's right. So I'm going to make you work for it, friends, okay?
Look, I want to go hit up the Chipotle after this.
Ah, I see.
And it's not Combo Breaker. You're not getting Chipotle for making it out of pools. So
No.
Got to earn your way there.
That's right. You get monster energy here, man, and I'm charged up, ready to go. This is great. 4 very defensively and offensively sound individuals throwing down right here on small battlefield, and Roy comes through and says, I'm tired of it, okay? Roy, of course, very strong character. We've seen him in singles and doubles. Definitely plays a very prominent role. Has the ability to set some great stuff up with that frame 5 jab. Of course, you have Nair. You have a lot of options in Roy's toolkit to either pass off or for him to keep the damage going himself. Teamed up against a character as potent as R.O.B. I mean, you got the T800, the T1000, the T3000, then you got R.O.B, okay?
Then you got R.O.B.
When they send R.O.B from the future to come get you, there ain't no movie. The movie is 10 minutes long, okay? He done got you.
Much as you may hate to say it, he will be back.
He will, yeah, unfortunately, he will be back in a major way. Same with Double-Edged Dance, of course, a move that I think even still to be this late in Ultimate's meta, a move that, again, when you get hit by it, it still throws you for a loop. Same as the fastest up smash in the business from Diddy Kong. Yes, that's right. He has the fastest one in the game and applied it thoroughly right there. Blue team looking good.
And Beastly only just now dropping that first stock to that R.O.B up air, which is just kind of one of those moves, especially at a smaller stage like this, that you're just going to die to it eventually. Right? There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You're at that high percent. And R.O.B is really good at sort of saying, hey, I see that you're stock tanking. It's not going to last forever, though. And neither will that second stock from Beastly. Got that extra credit on that first stock and then flunked the second.
Jeez, and then you know what? Getting busy in the corner right there, though. Being able to try to make up for a little bit of lost time, looking for something into that spike. Diddy Kong as dangerous as they come in the corner as well with the right setup. We'll see if they'll have enough time and enough room for innovation to get that setup done. Meanwhile, again, our first look at Steve here throughout the course of this weekend, and you know, kind of getting smacked up a little bit.
Honestly, Trade 5, you know, holding on to things really well. I think doing a great job of like getting things started as well. Like I normally think of Steve as you know, maybe the sit back and mind kind of character, but he can also be a very solid frontliner. And look at Beastly closing out that stock, as well as Johnny going away. It is down to last stock for the red team, and we'll see if Beastly and Varun5 can close this out. It will have to be the 1v1, Johnny and Varun. Oh my goodness.
Okay, and smart stuff right there to not air dodge in on the way back down to stage. Banana peel still in hand.
The last banana of the game.
That's
and
right.
There it goes.
And it is unfortunately gone. Belongs back to the game's coding. Nothing off the upper. There's back air, though. Off the stage. Nice awkward recovery, but we're going to go for the high one this time. Smart stuff. Corner control on the lock. Jeez.
Really good follow right there from Varun as well, knowing that Johnny wants to drift away. Re-grab the ledge, but you can't do that. The down smash is ready as always. Varun5 and Beastly are going to close out that game number 1 with the W, but boy, it was not an easy one.
No, definitely made them work for it. Definitely got to deliver them that whooping the best way they knew how.
I can hear them bantering from here, by the way. Like, they're a solid, there's a curtain in the way, there's like 5-6 feet away from us, and there's all the Dreamhack noise around, and I can still hear them clear as day.
That's right. I mean, we got those Smasher teacher ears, okay? We can hear everything and see everything at once, okay? Oh, we got a character switch? Are we?
Johnny is a man of many faces. We'll stick it out with the Roy, but, you know, has Sephiroth, has Ike in there. Could have played Chrom. He hasn't played Chrom since that was, you know, when he showed up to tournaments. Then he realized, why would I not just play Roy?
That's right.
So we will go into game 2. Same team composition, same stage. Atomic looking much more red right now with that pure red R.O.B. But other than that, things much stay the same, and that includes the hot start that blue team is getting off to. That's
right. Head full of laser right there on R.O.B's behalf and getting the party started and setting that tone early. Got these frame 3 down tilts. I ain't afraid to box, Diddy Kong. Okay, some of these other characters, you know what I'm saying, they might tremble when you walk in the room. I'm not some of these other characters, okay? I got frame, a data to spare. There's that frame 5 jab right there on Roy, though. Doesn't get anything off of it, but I love the command grab off the stage. And can't quite get the right option going here, but is able to push the advantage from one end of the stage to the other. And again, how you do it with Steve all comes down to your thought process on cart. And it looks like here, Roy doesn't care anything about it.
Yeah, 2 back airs from the red team, 1 from each character. They're going to be able to take down those first stocks from blue team. And again, I think that this will kind of be the theme of the match, is that red team is going to have a much easier time closing out those stocks. It's just going to be a matter of blue team really controlling the pace of the game a whole lot easier, and therefore may be down to those big moments like that footstool into the downer that Varun5 has found. See if blue team can do it once more.
That's right, drops the anvil right on top of him. That's one of those options where, like, you know Steve does it, and you forget that he does it every time. You're just like, okay, that happened. I got anvil. It happened. I was doing too much. Got a little too big for my britches. I wanted to get up there and get him, as every player would when you get Steve finally in disadvantage, and he drops the anvil on me.
And dropping that stock is Atomic. Beastly going out there to make it happen. Tried to do it again, but Atomic was there to save his teammate. And with that down throw, you've got all that throw and vulnerability to let Johnny throw out that forward smash for some big extra damage. So red team definitely could have been on the cusp of losing the momentum, but instead they will maintain it. Atomic finding that up there to take that first stock, and Beastly says we out.
That's right, we are definitely out. I'm going to delay this recovery option as quickly as possible, but I'm right on time to take your stock that back here out of shield. Again, you have to watch yourself up close and personal on Diddy Kong. Nice. Whoa. Hey. Oh, my goodness. Now, that was some monkey business.
Trying to stunt on them.
I mean, you know what? And if there's ever a way to really get into the mental space of your teammate, it's stunting on your opponent. Or, excuse me, your opponent is definitely stunting on him with Diddy Kong in the corner.
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy combo. And, yeah, Atomic was locked down on the other side. Couldn't save the teammate. Beastly now off stage and bonks on the side of it with the barrels. A really unfortunate way for that to end, considering how good of a job he was doing holding on to that stock. But wait a minute, down goes Atomic. This is a dead even game. Beastly and Varun5 could definitely bring this one back despite all the work the red team's been putting in.
And both sides really trying to find those small openings. We're seeing a lot of down tilts come through from R.O.B and a lot of standing jabs come through from Roy. These are those safer options. Down tilt, doesn't get anything off it, but enjoy this forward air. And now this is peak doubles. I hit one guy away, then I go hit the other guy, and then by the time he comes back, I smack him up again. Blue team looking ready.
Back to 2v1, and it is time for Varun5 to go into the back and start mining while Beastly takes that front line because he's at 120%. And honestly, if he can just start throwing out some powered rail mine carts, have those diamonds ready, he's going to be in a great spot. But you can't let Beastly get hit up too much either because R.O.B has the tools to stuff him out, and Atomic so far playing this really nice.
That's right. And of course, R.O.B blessed with some really safe aerials too, but not safe enough. Oh, wait a minute. I might have spoke too soon. We back. Hold up.
I thought that back air had it done too. That is an insanely strong move.
I thought he was going to try to nair the back air. I was like, I know nair is safe on shield, okay, but we're talking about Steve here. Proceed with caution. Okay, bit of a trade. I see your banana peel. I raise you a gyro. TNT, I'm not afraid of that. No hitbox on the recovery, though. You got to come down. You got to come down.
We are very afraid of that, actually.
Yes, we are.
The way Atomic was playing, I think that there is actually quite a palpable amount of fear, but 127%. Beastly's got confirms available. Could even close it out with just a read. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter who on blue team goes to the front line because either of them can go down quickly. I think the key thing, though, is that Atomic can't close it out with a grab because after that, he will get tossed into oblivion.
Oh, you tried it.
Okay.
Okay, try to turn Robin to roadkill right there. I'm still here, though. And again, both sides of the red team not quite as afraid of the cart as what I would have expected. But, yeah, you're super dead right there. I mean, look, there's dead. And then there's super dead, like no sequels dead. Like this was a one and done movie. Great stuff. I'm a fly away, man. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm a bit more rotund, so it's harder to get me rolling. But once I get rolling, good luck stopping me, right? Just had straight line tornado force speeds. And hey, we have got to speed into this next match. How's that for a transition?
Hey,
3 out of 10, I'll
take it. I'll take it.
MVD and MuteAce, both former Florida players. Now scattered to the winds. MuteAce down in San Antonio in Texas, MVD in Las Vegas. Versus two Texas players in Nova and Skinny the Poo. Nova's so much fun to watch with that hero, and Skinny, of course, made his name with that 3-0 over Leo
at Rise and Grind
a while back. Right. But how about Nova saying, wake up, Snake, wake up. I'm about to hit you with the sword. I'm about to chop you. And did. First stock gone to that snooze into the forward smash.
That's right. Again, this is just kind of the unfortunate life you play as Snake. You either live forever or sometimes you don't live very long at all. I think that's also just the life Snake lives in general. I mean, think about how many times you died playing Metal Gear Solid. But, yeah, again, you know, if there's – that's right. Snake. But, no, jokes aside, you know, this is MVD, one of the more premier Snakes. The most legendary Snake, in my personal opinion. I mean, when I think of Snake, I think of MVD and just his long-standing history, dating all the way back to Brawl. Been playing this game a lot longer than some of the kids who are playing competitively have been alive today. So take that into consideration when you approach MVD on a setup, okay?
I think you can say that about MVD and one of the top seeds of this entire tournament. But one stock gone, another one follows. MuteAce with that Palu says, okay, MVD's already dropped a couple of stocks, but is able to pick up just the first one on blue team. Green team having a little bit of a harder time getting things rolling here.
That's right.
And blue team has just been focusing and taking down stocks.
Yeah, again, it's just all about that synergy. I think these are two very strong doubles characters. We've seen how dangerous Palutane is. Frame 5 nair, dash attack backer. Yeah, I mean, again, just kind of got deleted, drug, and clicked into the recycling bin was that last stock right there from MVD. And again, we have seen him kind of play this role before. Nova and Skinny the Poo. This ain't Skinny the Poo at all. This is a whole lot of poo right here. Okay, this is the king of the poo.
The big baby Pooh Bear.
That's right. This is the Grand Pooh Bear. Okay, They don't get no more big than this right here. Skinny the Pooh doing damage again. Really just laying stakes to the claim that Mario, excuse me, and Wario, but Mario is a very, very strong character and has a firm place right here in the meta, just not on stage right here.
And MuteAce does lose that first stock down to the last because MVD has had to share stock and again has also been getting smacked up. Normally I think of MVD as somebody who's just trying to take control of stage, but honestly, I mean, he's been caught in a lot of 1v1s with Nova, and Nova has been doing a phenomenal job of dealing with MVD, using those hero spells to their utmost use. And blue team with that one stock lead and MVD nearing those kill percents. And with the bounce as well, those grenades are going to have no effect. Nova is equipped to take down MVD and 4 stocks taken from the Vegas Snake.
Oh, just unfortunate indeed. And now it's all down to MuteAce to really make some magic happen. Try to put him to sleep right there. A little out of the range right there for the snooze, but using, and I'm liking this from Skinny the Pooh, using, you know, the neutral special to find that opening in for some more damage. A little misposition, but definitely going to find X marks the spot here pretty soon. Caught you slacking in the air.
Just that up B to reset the situation, get Nova in position, right? That buys your teammate time. And Skinny just going to keep going for that damage because here's Nova, right? Sharkin got that psych up available, so a big solid hit could do it, but just the forward tilt means that Mute can hold on, but Skinny not going to drop that edge guard, not in a million years. Too solid. Team Migo taking that game #1.
You know, it's one thing to deal with Palutena on stage. I mean, she's a very, very tough opponent. You know, dash attack, frame 5 nair, down tilt, up air. I mean, she is ready for destruction. Off stage, good character, but depending on who's coming to get her, not great. You know, you can't stall out forever, especially when Mario's coming to get you. And Skinny the Pooh, again, just having the presence of mind, just the wherewithal to know they're not going to air dodge. They're going to try to outlast me. And I have nothing to lose here because I have a whole nother stock and a teammate. So if you want to go all the way deep like that for, you know, to avoid my back here, let's do it. We'll play this game of offstage chicken.
Well, now we got to see how things unfold on stage. Still got plenty wide of a venue to do it on in Hollow Bastion for game #2, and this is going to, I think, really help MVD avoid getting smacked up as much as he did. We saw MuteAce on the back line a lot in that last game, and immediately getting onto the front line, letting MVD set up some C4 on the ground, and potentially, I mean, I think what we're going to see a lot of is MVD sticking to the center platform, tossing grenades, letting people come to him, and if MuteAce wants to go up there and get things started, toss them into those nades, then that's probably where the game plan advances.
Well, let's see how it all unfolds. So again, you know, staying center stage or staying really just top platform and just really out of the fray isn't a bad spot for Snake to be in because that gives him the opportunity to be able to see the damage come towards him. And look, we talk high and mighty of Snake's, you know, projectile gameplay. His ability to set up shop is rivaled by very few, if by anybody in the game. However, you start to play the up-close and personal game, you're going to get a taste of that frame 3 jab, that frame 4 F tilt, that down tilt, that up tilt, all of that. Snake is ready for destruction. He just knows I'm the most dangerous player in the room, not because of what I can do, but because what I'm choosing not to do.
And so good at finishing the stocks. There you were talking about that up tilt. His ground game is just so solid, and being able to respond to that zoom. Psych Up is available. I mean, Green Team is letting a lot of these spells get farmed by Nova, and that is one of the reasons I think that Blue Team has been doing so good, is that we've just seen a constantly buffed hero. And you have to give credit, I think, to Skinny for really being brave to go on the front line, throw out hitboxes, make great decisions, and yeah, just let Nova build up all of these spells. Skinny's first stock will go to the wayside, so Green Team is looking very solid, but MVD's first stock goes, and so too does Mute, so we are still in an even game.
Again, we're leaning into more of the attributes behind our characters, more so than like the actual physical fight up close. I think that's where they kind of, you know, fell a little bit by the wayside in the last game. You know, you have Hero, who is, yes, a sortie, and yes, is disjointed in certain ways, but was able to start glowing colors, and once that starts happening, you don't want to fight him up close and personal for silly reasons like this. MVD getting deleted right here, and Skinny the Pooh looking to keep up the momentum. I'm loving every part of this from the blue team. Hero getting treated not like a hero up at the top of the screen. This is not good.
I can't believe I have my eyes locked on the Green Team's player cam for that entire sequence after that crit forward smash psych up hit. And MVD just had like the smallest like little, okay, of course.
Yep.
And then right back to being locked in, and it is continuing to work out for the Green Team, both nearing some somewhat dangerous percents, especially with a buffed up hero. I mean, Bounce has almost constantly been there. He might as well have been playing a purple circle this whole game and not an actual swordsman.
I mean, we talk about manageability of your options. Nobody's getting it done quite like this hero here. Nova is not playing any games here. And this is going to be a very, very rough one, I think, for the green team to try to bring themselves out of. We got a fresh stock on Snake, but honestly, throughout the majority of this set, it has not really mattered much. We need to see a big play. We need to see it fast because the blue team is holding forward and, most importantly, holding forward with a lot of raise. There's the up tilt. It's coming soon. Back throw? No, up throw. This little light of mine.
Yeah,
Let it shine.
Tried to toss into Mute, but Mute ran up too quickly, assumed that it was just going to be off of a pummel. And going for that long recovery. Skinny couldn't clean it up, so green team still definitely in the fight here. MVD off stage for a little bit, so a good time to focus on Mute, but his evasion was just too much to match.
Uh-oh, explosive flame on their teammate, but wait a minute, maybe it was all a part of a grandmaster plan that we're going to have to go back and look at once this tournament wraps up. Nice.
Yeah. Really good stuff right there. Skinny got aggressive to try to clean up that MVD stock, but he just kind of floated away, no real way to throw out an attack, and then you've used your double jump, you've used your resources, and you are just hovering above a Palutena who is ready to throw out that up air. Mute locked in, taking that stock, sending us to game number 3.
We just need to see more of that. You know, again, they played a little differently in this game. Leaned into their characters' attributes and toolkits. You know, we got the grenades and all the fancy setups. I even seen Skinny Dapoo get stickied a couple times, which, again, I think is a testament to how aggressive sometimes Skinny Dapoo can be. You know, on Palutena, sure, it might be a little bit more difficult. She's a lot longer of a character you are. But to get aggressive like that on Snake is kind of crazy because MVD is actually doing a lot of the players on the stage a favor. He's not even playing like the I got a grenade every time you hit me, I explode game. Once he starts playing that, that's primetime MVD, and it's over for the other side. So Nova and Skinny Dapoo, of course, did a phenomenal job in that last game. I'm curious to see what the adjustments are going to be on both sides.
I think it definitely needs to come from the blue team because I think that green team has already made that adjustment. I think that MVD and Mute kind of looked at that game 1 and didn't really play to their player tendencies. I think maybe kind of, you know, being very intelligent players and being established top players, I think maybe kind of overthought things. I mean, knowing that they're going up against a strong team and said, okay, maybe Snake is going to be really good on the front lines, like you're saying, trade damage, break out of those Mario combos. Have him up there, and then Mute can respond, which he's so good at. But I think in that game, too, they kind of just lean towards their personal player tendencies, right? MVD loves to just control the stage, throw out projectiles, and, you know, just kind of be a reactive player more than anything else. And Mute, he can kind of flex to anything. He is, again, just one of those well-rounded players that says, put me on a roll and I can do it.
Mute is tofu in a match, I'm telling you. It takes on any flavor.
And that is exactly what we saw in that game number 2. Green team just looking really, really solid. Battlefield, it'll be a little bit harder to have those defined roles because now the battle can just kind of meld and shift anywhere based on these platforms. Skinny going deep off stage and did not pay the price. Blue team actually kind of picking up a little bit of a drop right there. I love it.
I love Skinny Dapoo's fearlessness. Again, I think fortune certainly favors the bold. However, that could certainly come back and bite him later. I mean, we've seen it at the tail end of that last match. You know, just there's a time and a place certainly for everything. But I think when you see those opportunities come, you have to take them. And I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, I almost feel like that was going to be down throw. I read the tech roll into up tilt, but it looks like, you know, MuteAce just, again, autopiloted in on, hey, my teammate didn't throw it, I go for the follow-up. But I feel like up tilt would have been enough right there.
Might have been, but instead we are going to see the result that we got. And part of that was just a cling and a clang. There was a psych up back air from Hero and then directly into a Mario up smash. Just some of the hardest hits that you can imagine coming out from the blue team, who are just still hanging on right now. Do have that lead going. Definitely MVD has taken a lot of damage. And again, I think the stage has something to do with that. And down goes that second stock, looking like a little bit of a repeat of that game number 1. And if that's the case, blue team is going to be sitting happy.
Yes, they are. MuteAce playing a very defensively sound game. But one of the final hits of that frame 5 nair, being able to hit the target. Sometimes not about all the hits. I just need the right hit to get myself out of some trouble. But unfortunately, still found themselves in a little bit of trouble. Blue team right here still looking good. 2 stocks apiece. Skinny Dapoo using Flood to create himself just a little bit of leverage back to the stage and holding shield perfectly as MuteAce is under them with that nair. Again, that is a party starter, a party ender. Hell, there's not a lot of things that nair can't do, okay? So,
Ooh, okay, stall with the side B. Definitely could have put him in danger of that up air, but MuteAce did not exercise the patience we saw that ended that other game. And hold on a second, Skinny.
Wait.
Taking MVD off the top. It's that Battlefield difference. It's looking like Skinny and Nova are ready to move on.
That's right. Skinny Dapoo tapping into that rise and grind energy right there. Shout out to my people down here in Texas. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nice. There's that down there. Okay, 1 stock apiece here. All 4 individuals certainly poised to clean this one up. Who's going to do it? Hey, bro, he's playing a grenade game. Remember, I told you, if he starts playing that, it's going to be bad.
You got to look out, though, because Nova has both Psych Up and Oomph active right now, so 1 solid hit can mean, oh my god, everything, and it does take out MVD, sending him into the blast zone and the downer from Skinny on that semis in the pool to then try to qualify to make it into that top 4. I see how that goes.
You know, yep, no doubt about it. So we're moving and grooving through this bracket, and we got some more Smash Ultimate fun here to be had. Yeah, get that fire out of here. And Incineroar said, I deal with fire too. Get it out of here. Just jumped right on top of it, but a great start right there to the match. You got Bowser sometimes in the forefront, being able to not only use like the physical nature of their body with like that, I think it's like frame 11 on fair. Like it's very, very potent. Then you also have Flamethrower too that can just cover a vast distance away from Bowser. This is what you want to see.
It's crazy what they did with that Flame Breath. They said, okay, it's been bad in literally every game it's been in, so let's make sure we make it good. It'll do, you know, if it hits your shield, then it'll shred it and it'll do 20% anyways. Just why did you press the R button in the first place?
Yep.
And then, you know, if you didn't shield it, then you'll take a cool like 40 to 50, depending on how big your character is.
That's right. Enjoy that. Enjoy that.
I will not.
And it's also going to come from one of the biggest characters to ever do it in Smash 2, by the way. Forgot to bring that up in the last meeting. Oh, is it from Bowser? It's from Bowser.
It's from Bowser.
It's from a Bowser right here. But Bowser, you know, dropping this early stock. Red team looking pretty good. Now, of course, again, these are two characters. If you get them off stage, you can really make them pay for it. Again, you know, no hitbox on recovery. That is Olimar. And then, of course, we've seen Incineroar come back from some strange distances away and then not come back at all. So let's see how this all unfolds right here.
That flying slam is looking like a, you know, open package of Premier crackers because it is stale and stale with the amount of times that it's been thrown out. But has definitely been landing quite a few times. Did take that first stock from Army, who I think that Olimar is just in such a rough spot because he does not match up well against R.O.B for sure. And in a doubles environment, I mean, Bowser can just take you down so quickly. And very good DI right there to avoid the team combo and does toss Kurry away to take that first stock
Gotta
off.
let Incineroar know, before it was you, it was me. Okay, it was Bowser, the king of the Koopas here in this game. And I was, you know, again, the command grabs were definitely there. Tummy time was definitely there. There's Nair in the corner.
Kurry with a really intelligent edge guard, threatening a down air, able to use that up B to interrupt the recovery and then drop down immediately for a Nair to continue it, and will eventually clean up that R.O.B stock on stage as Army does the same for the Bowser. Blue team down to last stock apiece.
Okay, let's see how this all shakes out again. We've seen, you know, great resiliency right here from the blue team. Not out by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely is going to have to figure something out here and fast because the red team is just moving forward. Nice. Double purple Pikmin and the red one, too. Very fearsome combination, but it is tummy time again. That command grab getting busy. Get off this stage.
I'm watching Teletubbies now.
Right, tummy time. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. My brain was like,
That's the Tubby custard machine.
That's right. There's the baby sun in the sky. No, the baby sun is
that
Olimar.
That thing scared me. Oh, my gosh. And that's exactly where I went when that vacuum cleaner came up on screen. I just ran downstairs. I was like, I don't want to look at that.
I'm out of here.
The basement, I'm away.
That's right.
I don't know why that thing scared me as a kid. I was like, oh, the Teletubbies great. That vacuum cleaner comes. No, I'm out.
The 90s and 2000 were different. I mean, it was just a very strange time. I mean, Ren and Stimpy was allowed to be on TV. So do with that information as you must, friends. But yeah, Peach Fuzz and Toy. And Army and Kurry, of course, still holding it down the fort. But I believe in the blue team here. They can certainly figure something out. Again, Bowser, great options in singles and in doubles. You get to play a very turtley, no, not even trying to like put a pun there, a very turtley sort of defensively sound game. You can, you know, up B, you know, up smash out of shield. You can forward air to your heart's content on stage and off stage. It's going to be very difficult for your opponent to deal with it. But I think the big thing that we don't see as much in doubles that we do in singles is reading tech options like that running F tilt, being able to use tilt at the ledge. Bowser's never in one spot long enough in doubles for him to even set something like that up. So how do I get my KOs off stage? Well, you got to lean into the R.O.B. But R.O.B is so caught up in Incineroar, he's getting sent to the scrap heap. What is he to do?
And the amount of times that we've seen things come down to 2v2s, I think that is the question. Like, yeah, you know, what do you do when you're stuck on one stage fighting this guy, I'm stuck on the other side fighting this guy? And what's so impressive about Army and Kurry is that they're able to play both sides of that and really mix and match when they need to. I think they're just so good at recognizing as a doubles team when they need to be together and when they can absolutely handle things away from each other. And not only that, but those moment-to-moment decisions of I'm going to go save my teammate or I'm going to go combo off of my teammate, like that's harder, I think, than people give it credit for, to recognize when your teammate's in danger and when they're going. You just kind of see action happening on the other side of the screen and you run over there. I can't believe that killed.
Look, it's tummy time again. I'm not going to play. Oh, my goodness. And yes, getting a little bit of that get back. I love that. Came right down, found the opening for the F smash. And yeah, you know, again, a lot of this opening percent was put on just from short hop fair from Bowser. I mean, literally turning into the same move Sammy. Look, I'm just going to forward air until you stop it. And the move was getting done in a big way. Revenge is online, though.
Trying to wait for Kurry to get out of that end lag to go for that up smash, but could not find it, and does run out of that revenge as well. Too much damage taken. Does launch the Bowser upwards, does give his teammate away back onto the stage. Going for that giant swing, the forward throw, huge collateral hitbox on that, and a lot of people might expect the down throw or the back throw, something. But that throw lasts so long, it's hard to do anything about it, and down go both of the Titans on the blue team's side. Red team, once again, Army and Kurry moving with the lead.
Again, the ground game is just in full control of the red team. We have to figure out a way to get them off stage, and I know that's a task much easier said than done, but we can figure out a way to get them off stage. You can certainly make them pay for it. Up tilt, very good option. Forward air off stage too, not to be trifled with at all. Incineroar down to their final stock. Again, we got that get out. I'm not going to say it's a get out of jail free card. I mean, it is frame too, but you have that whistle. If your combos, aren't airtight, I will whistle through it. I'm in a good spot. But there's a lot more conjunction that has kind of resulted in Army living as long as they have.
Sometimes Kurry, though, getting threatened by those throws from Bowser, not really knowing exactly where they end, getting hit by those collateral hitboxes. Speaking of which, Army getting caught up, could not punish that flying slam. Bowser looking so clean, even at 161%. Plenty of damage to be done. Down goes Kurry's final stock, and somehow it is a 2v1 for the blue team.
That's the blue Pikmin, though, leaving you black and blue. This ain't good. We got one red Pikmin, one blue, and the white one is out of there. The purple one is present. You know, the purple one is going to be awfully safe on shield, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Okay.
The red one is especially threatening against R.O.B, who loves using that Nair to get Pikmin off of him, but look at that. You can't. Red Pikmin are immune to fire damage. They will continue to latch onto you and rack up that damage, but this is still going to be tough for Army. This is definitely a R.O.B favored matchup in this 1v1. Just one stock to see if this set ends or if we keep going to a game 3.
1% differential between these two talented individuals. That's right, blue Pikmin getting the job done. There's the purple, and it's my turn to swing back now, and both characters, no hitbox on the recovery.
Those purples, yes. 2 royal purple Pikmin ready to take the stage, and the red as well. Pretty much an ideal lineup for Army right now, but you got to get close, and right now, a lot of that damage is racking up, looking tough to get in, but at 100%, now you're in danger. Up smash, forward smash, even a back air near the ledge. All of these things could take that stock if you're not careful.
The down tilt frame 3. Look for some safe options on the approach. Okay, but I got to keep these purple Pikmins locked just in case you try to get close. Now, keep in mind, Nair swings big on R.O.B, but it is very, very safe on shield. So if it's spaced properly enough, he will live for a long time, but didn't space that one so well. There's forward throw. Purple Pikmin is out of here, and I'm going deep for this.
Oh, we're going so deep. Great tech there from Army, able to stay alive. Does have Pyra, the blue Pikmin, and the up throw, and Kurry's the one to pop up for his teammate. You couldn't see the player cam, but when Army got that forward throw with the blue Pikmin earlier
here, and a lot of names are going to get ready to go into this history book. If you don't know about Varun5 now, you better get to know the gameplay because it's looking good. Here we go. Next game here is upon us. Nova Skinny the Pooh. Varun5. I got to say, come on, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody who has ever been to DFW, I mean, you're going to love Varun because he is just such a joyous person to be around, right? I think that everybody loves Varun, and same can kind of be said about Beastly, but these two are, very expressive in their play. I feel like Varun is just one of those guys that's just like, he's a nice guy in person, and he's kind of a nice guy when he plays. I mean, yeah, he's playing Steve, but I would say that kind of plays a little bit by the book. Doesn't do like a lot of the crazy combo setups that Yanni does, for example. And you don't also see, the kind of gameplay that you get out of like an Onin or a DD.
Sure.
Very, very balanced player. Meanwhile, Beastly, you get a sense of what he's like as a competitor when you watch him play because he is go 100 miles an hour all the time.
Well, I think that's kind of the beauty, like the duality of the Minecraft characters. Steve, Alex, Enderman, whatever version of the character you play, is that you can play multiple different types of ways. I mean, we've got to see Snake played in a way where I'm like, we've seen aggressive Snake like Apollo Kage and Hurt. We've seen more defensively sound Snakes. And I think characters with a very strong toolkit in terms of like projectiles and setups, they have that luxury. If you have options that can control the pacing of the match, you really get to dictate what type of player you need to be when it's time to be them. We even see it with Sonic. He's like his own projectile. So it's crazy.
He is the projectile. That's what we saw in Sonic X.
That's right.
They were like, what's the most powerful cannon on our spaceship? It's the one where we put Sonic in it and shoot him.
Send him flying, okay? Fastest thing alive. Okay, this match right here just flying by the wayside. There's the back air, kind of got you caught in the corner. And this is maybe one of those moments where that aggression that we've grown to love from Skinny DePoo is kind of coming back to bite him a little bit. Again, I love it. Again, it makes for, you know, great openings, great follow-ups. Again, it makes for great passes as well, too. I mean, the Mario cast of characters can pass like no other. But you got to watch yourself because this is Steve we talking about here.
I will note, by the way, in case you're confused, maybe have us muted or something, in which case this probably won't help you, but not MVD and MuteAce on the Steve and Diddy Kong. That is Beastly and Varun5, not respectively. Beastly on the Diddy Kong. And big damage coming out from that down air. Still will be eating a punish is Varun5. So red team not out of this yet, especially with a buffed up hero. Just about anything can happen. That oomph can do some big damage. See if Nova's able to clean things up with the Diddy in the corner, but Beastly with a nice escape, and Nova forced to go down to the ledge, leaves Skinny a lot of time to have to deal with this 2v1 right now.
Love that. Threaten that space with that frame 4 down tilt. That is the Diddy Kong special. And then waited for Mario to show his hand as quickly as it was shown, because Mario, of course, very, very quick character by his own right, was able to sneak in the world's fastest up smash here in Ultimate, which is Diddy Kong. So able to close it out. Clean stuff here. Blue team looking powerful. Red team's going to have to figure something out right now because Hero's getting treated kind of like a zero right now.
Man.
F-tilt. Hold up a minute.
What a recovery there from Varun, but did spend enough time off stage that Beastly stock got cleaned up. And yeah, as you said, hold on a second because this match is not over just yet. The hero does go down. It will leave Skinny in the 1v2, but definitely not impossible by any means. We are talking about Mario. We do see Varun at the, I'm sorry, this is a 3v1. Varun5 still has 2 stocks. What am I saying? This is a wrapped up game number 1.
I was going to say, I don't know if the math is mathing, my friend Kimona, but, you know, I do like to be a positive person. I'm an optimist, but I'm also very much a realist, too. And the reality of the situation is that you're going to meet Steve here pretty soon. Great stuff right there. F smash up underneath the platform. No banana peel needed. Beastly and Varun5 doing it up in a big way.
Looking like it's going to be a battle between them and Army and Kurry for who is the strongest team at this tournament. Not even necessarily just who wins, although I think that it will come down to that, but just how solid both of those teams have looked. I mean, man, Beastly and Varun together have just been, they've just sort of been consistent and sort of unstoppable. It's not that they have a particular game plan that you have to like focus on stopping.
Sure.
They've just been very, very fluid, and I think you can kind of say the same thing about Army and Kurry. Like, you just have to be at a point as teammates where you can be very fluid and just kind of adapt to whatever situation it is rather than trying to force one game plan and then panicking when it doesn't go through.
You got to be doubles tofu. I'm trying to tell y'all, you got to take on many different flavors here. You got to be able to do the 2-1v1 thing. You got to be able to take the forefront. You got to be able to take the background. I mean, there's so many different roles, that all on top of being synced up for team combos and things as such. Or knowing that sometimes if I'm going, let's say my teammate's a Terry, he probably doesn't need a team pass back and forth. He is his own team combo. So you have to take all that in conjunction while also being able to pilot this wonderful character on screen. So let's see what the adjustments are going to be right here for the next game. And Nova and Skinny DePoo going down, but not quietly, of course. And right now they have a bit of a lead. Let's see what they're going to do to milk it, because they got it on Steve. And Steve was the one that was able to close that stock out in the last game.
And I want to see them work with that lead as well, because they just kind of whooshed away that first stock. I mean, quite literally away from Trey 5, even though Beastly was the one that took a ton of damage early on. Took 80% to give Varun a bunch of time to mine, and then did not really take a big advantage of it. Wasn't able to get up to Diamond despite Beastly taking 80% right out of the gate. The game's still somewhat even, but down goes Varun a second time. The resources are just not building up. Where did Skinny go?
Skinny, what on earth? You supposed to use your Tanuki tail. What on earth was that? Unfortunate stuff there. A blue team going up in a much larger way. They're going to have to figure out how to get rid of Diddy Kong there and fast, and nothing like a good old-fashioned Mario up smash, I guess, to get it done. Uh-oh.
Shield broken. Beastly tried to get in to save him, was not able to do so, so Skinny instead says, hey, you know what? I don't want this to fall away. I want to at least get some damage off of this shield break, and did get some. Blue team, though, definitely right back into this one. Just a couple of big things, especially that SD from Skinny really turning around the momentum from this game.
That's right. This is beautiful gameplay here that we're seeing. Red team right now bleeding out maybe a little bit more than the blue team, but of course when the stocks get down to this portion of the match, every stock loss matters that much more regardless of the percent at hand. Banana peel. Love that, and then was probably anticipating the down tilt, try to get up in time to mitigate that, and then ate the F smash. I got a multi-hitting option right here just to cover both for you, my boy. Great stuff Blue team leaving the red team with black and blue, but I gotta address this feeling that I'm having, Kimona. I feel like Hero's gonna start heroing around pretty soon. Maybe turning into a villain, if you will. They're glowing colors. It might not be good for the blue team.
Yeah, the psych up was really big with the forward throw not being able to be enough to close that out. Blue team is down on the last stock apiece, just as the red team is, but if Beastly and Varun have anything to say about it, they want to try to focus down on Nova and take that stock, leave it to Skinny to try to play in that 2v1. But if they're not careful, Blue team could end up in a similar situation as well. Look at all the colors that Hero is glowing, all the damage that he can do, but also how much he can take close to the blast zone. And Beastly finishing it off with the back blast, the jet stream.
Well, I had to stop myself. TNS, y'all know that's my catchphrase, the what the?
What the?
Okay, and then there's the anvil, because you knew what it was.
More like, you know, end of Smash 4, early Smash Ultimate. Didn't have a bunch of time to play after the pandemic. Beastly and Varun5 are definitely a bit more well-renowned, well-traveled. Beastly especially gets out to a lot of big tournaments, performs well. Has been on the map before with wins over people like Meister in the past.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Varun5 has made a name for himself as well, and now they are both doing it as teammates in doubles. But again, going up against the juggernaut that has been Army and Kurry.
Yes, no doubt about that. I mean, you're definitely playing for all your lunch money right here, and then some. And I think these two sets of teams were kind of destined to play. I mean, we got to see their journey early on and just how well they were bringing the pain. And we couldn't help but to think, what would happen if they face off against each other? Well, worry and think no more, friends. It's finally here. And I'm loving this combination of Pikmin that we have right now. We have a yellow one. Of course, we have that purple one for stuff like this. Don't let Steve come back for free. I mean, he might come back. There's a good chance he might, but make him work for it.
Also, don't let Beastly just continue to throw out those down airs at the ledge. Easy, easy snipe right there. Just kind of guessing on the timing, but is able to take down that stock from Army. And Beastly getting clipped by that up B. Not happy about it, but you got to be careful as a character that's so reliant on that double jump to make that recovery back. And Incineroar will take that away from you very, very quickly. So red team, a little bit of a gift right there to stay in this one.
That's right, but for how much longer is the real question, and it looks like we have equalized these stocks right here. No Denzel Washington. The equalizer is present, though. 4 stocks between both sets of teams. It's looking powerful right now, but who is going to really pull ahead is the real question. Now, of course, you have that wonderful ground control that I talked about before with Olimar, that ability to use purple Pikmin and just really apply that good and that safe pressure, more importantly. But then you also have like that good nickel and dime damage. I got my jab, my down tilt, my short hop nair, just those things to bust up the chaos just long enough for Incineroar to come in and do what Incineroar does best, which is clean shot.
Yeah, create that space. And yeah, like you're saying, definitely very, very powerful. Of course, Olimar can do that himself as well. You know, put together enough nickel and dimes, you still get $1, and we will be taking that stock away from Varun5. But also down goes that stock from Army. Beastly once again keeping this game dead even until Varun is out there.
That's right, and going deep for that. That's kind of been the reoccurring trend here between a lot of the teams in doubles this weekend. Has just been like, yo, when you're off stage, don't let them come back for free. And it's so weird because early Ultimate was like, it's all about ledge trapping. But I'm starting to see the meta shift towards the off-stage gameplay. I'm loving this. There's Nair. Can be back into the corner. Great get off me move. Residual damage coming through. I got to build up a shop so I can mine and craft in that exact combination. And was it worth it? I think so.
And even though Beastly did lose that stock right there, yeah, Varun's just going to be like, hey, if I can get over to, I mean, definitely gold tools will be helpful. Of course, you want the diamond and will get it. Now you just need to craft it. You got plenty of time to do it because Beastly is locking down Kurry at the ledge. And why not the banana into the down air? And Trey was the one that popped off, even though Beastly's the one that hit it. That's what you love to see in your teammates.
That's how synced up they are. He said, I only got it in me to pop off. Please pop off for me. That was smooth. Was that the angel drop too? Was that Z drop banana peel into down air?
Sure looked
like
like
it. That
is
the
Ron.
Angel Cortez out there. I hope you out there watching out there in the East, my friend. One of my old roommates back in Jersey. Love Angel, man.
Shout out to Angel Cortez.
That's right. An absolute legend in a lot more ways than one. Now, let's go ahead and see what this next game is going to bring us. Now, of course, no surprise. We're going to Pokemon Stadium, too. Who'd have thought
what,
right there?
Again?
What again?
No way.
Who'd have thunk? But we're on Pokemon Stadium 2, but it's all about the characters because we're hovering over that Sonic the Hedgehog. No way!
Yes way. So you, again, this is one of those things that you might not know this, but before the Incineroar and before the Snake, back in Smash 4, Sonic was the main for Kurry. This is kind of where he made his name. And in Smash Ultimate has also had the Sonic around for a little while. And I think, you know, if you go back to PS2, right, I think that Sonic is going to be a pretty good choice. He can definitely cover a lot of range. And honestly, I think that the Incineroar just got given way too many fits by the Steve putting up all these blocks, really did not have anywhere to maneuver. Incineroar does have good jump height, but really not, not really anything else to work with there and to try to get around those blocks. So I think that the switch to the Sonic can be really good. The question now is, what's your plan going to be to take those stocks? Because you can get those nickels and dimes, just like you were talking about, but eventually you got to hit up the coin star.
That's facts. Come on, we got to cash out on this, and I just feel like one side's doing it a little bit better than the other. And yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. People say what they want about Steve. His brain is off. He's not this. He's not that. No, when he swings, he is swinging with precision. And also keep in mind, if you're trying to time your revenges to a Steve swing, keep in mind of his toolkit. Certain swings come out a little bit faster, a little bit more potent. So you roll the dice even larger. If you miss a revenge, like you were saying, you just eat a lot more percent. So you got to be so cognizant of what Steve is doing at all points of the match. He's like a toddler. It's like he's finally able to walk. Now he's able to go places. I want him to be able to explore, but I can't let him do everything for free, okay? This is crazy.
Speaking of not getting it for free, Beastly had to give up a couple of hits to get back on stage from that really, really good ledge trapping sequence by the red team. And about a minute and a half into the game, the first two stocks get taken, but they are both from the red team, who again,
oh my
a little bit
God,
of a struggle to finish out those first stocks, but does get that hard read with the forward smash.
Jeez, yes, the bully F smash, man. Jeez. That right there, that's just the biggest bully in the sandbox. When you're just standing, you wind it up like that, like a 1950s film, just the why I oughta, and then it just lands. That was smooth right there. And I like what I was seeing right here from Varun5, or Beastly, excuse me, trying to answer back with a little bit of, Diddy Kong shenanigans of his own, but unfortunately this does not make up for the fact that hard read was LeVar Burton reading rainbow status. Jeez. Okay, here we are. We're back into the thick of things. Red team bleeding out just a little bit more. Of course, Sonic being able to control the majority of the pacing of this match is due to how quick they are, but also sometimes if they want to slow the match down, other three characters on the screen are going to have to play the Sonic game. Even my teammate is going to have to adjust to me. But I can't ignore the elephant in the room, which is the fact that they only have one stock right now, and Olimar kind of bleeding out. Come on, we got to figure something out here.
And you normally think of Sonic being the stock tank. Instead, Kurry has been trying to be on the front lines, making things happen. And honestly, Blue Team's just been doing a good job of avoiding. It is just an explosion of colors on the left side, and the only result is that Army is the one to lose a stock. Eventually, Kurry does as well. The switch to the Sonic looking like it was not the play. Beastly and Trey5 are grinning and having a great time right now.
As they should be right now. It's certainly playing out to their favor. There's an air, nothing off of the down air there that time, and using that whistle, frame 2 startup to get themselves out of harm's way, but enjoy this up tilt. Oh, wait a minute, stop monkeying around. Wait a minute, you weren't supposed to be there.
I wish you had the player cam right now, which is queued up for next, but Beastly is just shouting at Varun. Varun is laughing. Like, they are just, they're bantering right now, mid-game.
As you should, just, again, the communication needs to be present, just having fun with it, Wait,
Beastly said, I'm going all the way to the other. I don't want to be near that TNT. No, thank you.
I'm good on that. Again, that should be enough to do it, yes. Try as you may, tenacity only prolongs the inevitable, and that was you not being able to, I don't know, you not being able to edge out. Sometimes you're just like, you're just saying stuff, but yeah, you're not going to be able to edge out that 2v1. Tenacity only prolongs the inevitable. I'll take it.
Man, these two are just like, I love the banter. Again, like, best friends as it goes, right? There's brothers and then there's best friends, and I love the way that, Beastly and Varun just sort of have that bond together.
Yep.
And just being like, hey, if some stupid stuff happens, we're not going to get worked up about it. We're not going to be like, lock in. Like, no, it's just like, oh, something stupid happened. Like, oh, why'd you do that to me, man? Like, come on, lock in.
At the end of the day, it is a platform fighter with some of the most whimsical and wonky scribblo-biblo platformers that you have ever seen. So how could you even take it serious? You got to have fun with it. If you ain't having fun, you're not playing Super Smash Brothers. Let's go ahead and get it. Next game, we got to switch off of one fur back to the original fur, which is Incineroar, and of course teamed up with Olimar. A lot of real estate right here to work around. Who's going to pitch that tent and set up that house first? And you guessed it, it's Steve. So I'm going to make good use of this land.
Curious to see such a big stage when, again, I feel like that was part of the problem playing as Incineroar in those first couple of games, in that first game rather, against the Steve, right? Not being able to really get around him. I guess one of the big things is that it's very flat. Steve's not going to be able to set up the walls and sit under a platform, which means that Incineroar is basically never going to be able to land on you with an aerial. So at least opening that up will give Kurry some more options to deal with the Steve. But, again, how often do you even want the Incineroar to be the one fighting against the Steve? I don't think that Olimar does particularly well either, but again, I think that Red Team is just going to have a really tough time dealing with Varun, and you can see based on those percentages, they've been trying to focus on him a little bit more.
Again, it's that damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of thing, I think, when it comes to dealing with Steve. It's like, is any character really well-equipped enough to deal with Steve? I'd make a strong argument for Cloud, I guess. Like, Cloud, you know, we've seen the data, but, you know, Steve obviously still being the better character. Cloud with a lot more tools than most to get it done well. And speaking of tools getting used properly, Mr. My Friends Fight for Me, I don't care what Ike is talking about. Olimar with the up smash through the anvil is looking good right here.
Good help from the friends right there. And Trey5 just comboing Beastly to the tune of like 30%. The player cam, I think Beastly like looked directly at him and went, stop it, stop it. It's
one of those TV show moments where you just got to look at the camera and say, things are constantly happening to the blue team here this time. Is looking anything but good. The red team starting to figure some things out, and maybe this could be due to the fact that there's just a lot of stage here on Catalyst. You know, before in that close quarter combat, you know, Incineroar not really with a lot of space for innovation when it comes to approaching Steve. Here on Kalos, slightly different story. Now, I might not be the fastest guy in the world, but I know what a lot of space looks like.
That's definitely a dead Incineroar, unless Army can come through with the save, and he does. There's that brotherly love. Kurry will go down regardless, but really nice save anyways from Army. Red team definitely able to keep this game at least tied right now, and with a big revenge that's going to be necessary from Kurry, because blue team, they do have the stock lead, tons of percent taken though, so this could easily turn around very, very quickly, especially if Curry is able to make use of this revenge, which it looks like he is trying his damnedest to do.
He most certainly is, and smart stuff to just slide evasively out of that area. Again, when Incineroar swings, they swing with a lot of authority out there. You ate a purple Pikmin, but you ain't going to survive a glowing Incineroar. Let me tell you something. Oh, wait a minute. I spoke too soon. Okay, the immediate share stock. Steve bleeding out. Got to get our tools set in order. And I like this. Army definitely knows it. I'm going to switch focus. Opponents off stage. Wall jump right to the up B.
Great recovery.
Oh,
Beastly
no.
knocked out again. And there goes Varun5. It is down to Beastly to try to make the 1v2 work. And Kurry being the one at 100% does not help, because it is going to be hard to get to him when you have got to also contend with a wall of Pikmin in your way. It's hard enough to get to Olimar in the first place. Now you got to get to the guy behind the Olimar.
When does it stop? I mean, there's just layers upon layers of people on this stage here to stop you only. Back down onto the stage, frame 4 down to off the mark, and yeah, Diddy Kong has exited stage right. And all you can do is just really laugh. You're just like, you know what, that happened. It went down. It went down just like that.
I like Kurry being like, I'm not really satisfied with how that game ended. That was way too much of a scramble for me, but he did end up closing it out there with the strong Incineroar, I believe, the dash attack to close it out. So we are back in this set. 1-2, Kurry and Army finally on the board, but now they are going to have to play those last two on that counter pick disadvantage. It's going to be up to Beastly and Varun to figure out where they want to go.
Yes, and I think going to play a big role in here. I think, you know, Kalos was certainly the switch that they needed in order to close that one out, even though it did kind of come down to the wire. They needed that W, but they also needed that idea that, okay, our stage picking, where we go or where we decide to not go, I guess, better, definitely plays a big role. So we do have options, even if our characters can't get it done. Let's switch the terrain up, let's switch the scenery up, and let's switch our mindsets. Next game here is upon us, friends. 4 of the strongest players to enter Dallas, Texas here for Dreamhack 2024 are here. And it looks like Varun and Beastly still up 2 games to Army, and Curry's 1. But let's see if we can push this to a game number 5.
Back on Pokemon Stadium 2, we're going to be back to Trey5, building a bunch of blocks, whether they're random, whether they're precision placed. They're all going to help stuff that advance from the red team, being able to have that Steve just stock tank, start mining, sit behind these platforms, be a real nuisance to approach. And it's going to be up to Beastly to make some good decisions. Great wait right there, and great read on the revenge as well right there from Varun5. I love that, really showing off that matchup knowledge against Incineroar.
That's right. I'm loving these forwarders in the corner too, not allowing him any easy access back onto the stage. Tried to punish the regrab. Great stuff right there, but even a better evasion and situational awareness here from Kurry Anvil. He said, revenge this. He said, I'm coming back through, brother. There's the get-up attack off of the corner. And yes, these nairs out of shield have just been a thorn in everybody's side. He's even hitting his own teammate with it. Nair is such a strong option in Incineroar's toolkit. The wonderful get-off-me move. That, and of course, the Darkest Lariat.
Love to see that body splash. I also love to see Trey5 just kind of, or sorry, Varun5 just kind of toss up Old Habits Die Hard. A couple of those up tilts, and then just letting Beastly kind of handle the situation, going back to that ledge trap to keep Incineroar over there, who is at 153 and yet to lose that first stock. As I say that, does trade it. One gone from Varun, one gone from Kurry, right back to an even stock game. And with Army at 101%, right, I mean, just a stray hit from a now Diamond Tool holding Steve could definitely spell the end for him soon if that Steve gets close to the Olimar. Look out, here
there
he
is.
Just one aerial to do it.
Jeez, wow. And again, just the corner control has always been present. Just never knowing when he's going to swing or what direction he's going to swing most importantly. You want to jump over him, but he's too high to jump over and he's too low to get under. When I have that diamond in line, what are you going to do?
Die, apparently, because that is another stock taken on that Incineroar. Red team down to one stock apiece each, and if they go down in this game, they go down to the loser's bracket. Varun5 and Beastly would punch their ticket into winner's side of grand finals, and we are scrambling right now.
He's looking for revenge, but unfortunately all he's finding is damage. And this is what I was talking about before. You might have revenge time to Steve's options when he doesn't have diamond or when he doesn't have gold, but the fact of the matter is things become a little bit more potent, okay, as the match starts to trail on for Steve. You have to watch when and how you try to revenge him. I mean, it's a big payoff if you get it, but if you miss, oh, geez, it's going to be a bad time.
It's a really nice evasiveness by Beastly. Varun5 still able to hold on, and the longer he can, the better, because he does not have diamond tools queued up for the last stock, but probably will not need it. That little back throw, no tech. Might have been dead even if you did tech, because Steve can follow up like that, and it's down to Kurry to take 3 stocks of the blue team. And that is a tall order indeed. You're getting launched off stage. It's a ledge trap. It's an anvil.
Oh.
Does take one.
It's a nair. It's a pineapple.
Messed up the recovery right there. Yeah, stuck under the stage. And that will be Beastly and Varun5 proving that for right now, they are the dominant Dallas team. I should say dominant Dallas duo. There's your alliteration. Going into grand finals on winner's side.
That's right. Great stuff to them. And I think, doing it in a very Texas fashion just
very quickly, I think that's one of the things that Palu offers you is that, if Peach's snake gets knocked off stage, then the other one that is still on stage is going to get stuck in a 2v1 for a solid 5-7 seconds.
And that is a very long 5 to 7 seconds.
This is going to be the goal right here, is to not let that happen in the first place. Tall order, though, against Yoshi and Game & Watch coming out from Danby and MyKO. Let's get it. Game 1.
That's right. Tall order. We will see if their eyes are indeed as big as their stomach. Let's see how this is all going to unfold. We got 4 individuals right now. Of course, you see MyKO kind of playing this very evasive game, and for good reason. Game & Watch, of course, being the lightest of the 4 characters on the screen, wants to make sure that survivability is a thing and it remains intact. Switching focus over here to Snake, and for good reason. You start to get grenade happy, this bucket comes out. It's a very simple sort of combination of events. You explode, I bucket, you know how this goes.
I think that's going to be a lot of the tension that we see here in this match, because I think that on both like a consistent teaming level, especially from back in the day, and also just, again, sort of that singles renown and prowess that we've seen from MVD and MuteAce, they would definitely have the advantage going into this match. But we thought that with them going up against Nova and Skinny, and the big thing that changed up that match was the inability for MVD to really freely go to his game plan, which is press the B button and press it often. There is a C4 stuck to MuteAce right now. It may have transferred to somebody by now, and it did, but finding no effect. So we're seeing right now, red team is off to the early lead. MVD and MuteAce looking real nice as they take those first 2 stocks.
That's right. Looking just primed and ready to move on to the next portion here of bracket. But, of course, they have to get through this wall right here. And Danby, of course, is no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. Yoshi is a character that, again, is definitely moving up in favor in the Rodney tier list. Of course, don't ever actually reference this tier list to anything, substantial. It is definitely just a Rodney thing only. But, Yoshi is definitely rising through the ranks, in my personal opinion. And for good reason. This character really comes alive in all portions of bracket, but definitely doubles. There's that standing jab. Doesn't quite get anything off it on that top platform, but Yoshi doesn't need a lot of space to work. There's Nair, frame 3. Where are you going, Snake?
I think MuteAce is stuck right now. I don't know if the C4 transferred. Good save, though, not letting MVD get followed up on. And there is that C4. MyKO trying to use that get-up attack to just invincibility through the explosion, but MVD find and purchase, and finding that Snake game plan that we usually talk about, him in doubles, just staying alive, stock tanking, working out really well, and Danby not able to make it back to the stage. Blue team down to fewer stocks than at that moment where I started the sentence than MVD had in total.
Wait a minute, but we're looking at summer games done quick here. I think stocks are just flying and people are getting speed ran. Nice, there's the legs. Back here in the corner, met by the boots. Yeah, you got to watch that up air. Smart, he knows that after one up air, guess what Yoshi's going to do again? He's going to up air again. So smart to use grenade right there just to bust up the fun. You don't want to take a lot of unnecessary percent because you're caught in disadvantage. Snake, of course, being a big body, most importantly, a big target.
But great recognition by MVD right there, knowing that Okay, Yoshi's still in hit stun. He's not going to be able to air dodge. Take him off the top with that C4 that just got transferred onto him. And speaking of which, here's some more C4 for your troubles. Up throw and C4, not quite enough. Game & Watch still barely hanging on, but guess what, Rod? We're going to do it again.
That's right. Rinse and repeat. There's the up throw. Now it's going to get it done. And it's all jokes. I love it.
I love seeing these two laughing because it just looks so silly. Just, yep, toss him up there, boom.
That's Team Luxurious
So
Locks
good.
up there on the left side. MVD and MuteAce, okay? Got to get their hair care regimen after this all wraps up because I got some questions, okay? I got some questions for myself.
I'm literally right here.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I got to get all three of you guys
chopped
down.
liver. It's okay, Rod. You can ask them.
I got to get all three.
I get it. The top players. You got to get your excuse for the interaction.
You're right.
It's
You're
okay.
right. You're right. I got to, you know, all jokes aside, I got to get all three of you guys down on a podcast. Like, yo, welcome back to Luxurious Locks, man. This is my podcast channel. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my podcast ready. Rod's Rants coming soon. There's TED Talks. There's Rod Rants. Jesus, they better not ever
You
get
had
this
that
show.
whole thing queued up like way too quickly. You just smoothly into the give me a subscribe, help me out, all that. Just
Improv
you had that ready.
Improv has ruined my brain. Here we go, friends. Small battlefield is upon us. MVD and MuteAce, MyKO, and of course Dan B. What is? Okay, wait, their team. So it's MyKO and NWA Danby. So okay, my bad. I wasn't talking about. I got to remember to talk about the sponsors too as the players come up onto the stage. I want to make sure I show everybody a little bit of love.
Well, and I will say NWA is just Danby representing his original region of Northwest Arkansas.
Yes.
And that is
okay.
part
That
of-
makes
part-
sense.
That's part of his whole tag as well, right? It is the tag is NWA Danby because yeah, just still wanted to represent Northwest Arkansas, represent the roots, right? They never truly go away. But yeah, him and MyKO now, you know, two Dallas natives trying to take on you know, two former Florida natives again now different parts of the world, but still going back to team up together because they know each other. They're friendly, they're chummy, and they're both very talented.
That's right. And they're both here. Both sets of teams are here. Definitely to get to that first spot, that first place finish. We've got obviously a juggernaut of a team sitting in grand finals right now. Both of us have to get through each other. Now, of course, MuteAce and MVD played that last game very well. Never really feel like they took one hand off the steering wheel. C4 getting it done in a way that we really didn't get a chance to see MVD come alive in. MVD, all the snakes are different. But one thing that I love about MVD is his ability to use C4. Like, dude, I even forget about it. I'm on commentary. I can look at the whole match completely unbiased. I'm not even in the game, and I forget where he put C4. That's how you know he's putting them in the right spot.
Well, and consider that we're also in doubles. You've already got so much information to keep track of it, and now you need to know where the C4 is and see if it's transferring somewhere. MyKO got taken off the top and will go down to that second stock very quickly. MVD been showing off a ton of that prowess as Mute does lose that stock, but this is where things were so good for the red team last time. MVD just held on to his first stock forever. And so far, that's holding on to be the case because Danby is getting close to losing that next stock. MyKO all of a sudden almost was too.
Yeah, you got to be safe up there when it comes to Peach. Now, of course, we get to see what makes Peach so dangerous. More at a grounded level. You see her float cancel. You get to see a couple up airs. Definitely forward air. Nair very safe on shield. But every so often, she gets very parasol happy. And if she catches you up there slacking in a very Mario fashion, she will KO you with that up B. But that F smash getting it done. It's looking powerful right now. MuteAce and MVD with a stock lead, but we'll see how long it lasts. MuteAce knows that right now Danby has eyes focused on Peach. Has to figure out a way to get that stock taken, but it ain't easy because she can spend so much time in the air, a lot longer than Yoshi.
And even though Yoshi can't go up there and really challenge that air drift, we just see Blue Team is having a really hard time just getting control of the stage and really you know, getting to do any team combos of their own. For the most part, it's been one of them gets smacked away. MuteAce gets stuck with the C4, runs in there, does some havoc, and then somebody gets stuck. Okay, there's that C4 stuck under that right side of the platform, so watch out anybody who travels over there. And MyKO is ready, did bucket it. That could be a huge game changer.
That's right, and I think MVD very well aware of it. Goes for the down tilt, does something safe to get themselves out of trouble. Of course, could have went for F tilt, first hit frame 4, but does not want to be locked down in place and wants to figure out a way to get up out of there as fastly as possible. And does just that. A lot of damage flying around here. Nothing. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, I thought up air wasn't going to be able to connect. I forgot. These are snake's legs we're talking about. They going to connect.
Long, long legs. He's got those DJ legs.
Facts. Eddie Gordo.
Hey!
Eddie Gordo, if you will.
He's pressing 3 and he's pressing B. It doesn't matter.
That's it. That's all you need in this crazy life of FGC. 3 and 4 is all you need with Eddie and Christy. Right here. Okay, now all the blue team needs right here is to get this stock taken off of MVD, which of course has become a task within itself, becoming a very evasive player if there even is such a thing with Snake physically, but also using up tilt to get out of harm's way, and then of course using a C4 to really control the overall terrain here of the match. There's dash attack.
Yeah, C4 fell off of mute, so we're just going to go at it again if you even get the opportunity, but you won't. We're binging with Babish, that frying pan to send you into that top blast zone, giving MVD and Mute a 2-game lead, and MVD just stared into my soul for a second. I felt the cold clutch of a banshee grip around my heart. Stop, I'm scared.
Got to.
I'm scared.
You got to let everybody at home know I'm locked in. Just in case you didn't know, I'm activated. The MVD machine is present, okay? But that's not to say that, you know, again, Danby and MyKO, it won't be. I mean, I'm certainly anticipating them rising to the occasion here, as it typically happens in this portion of bracket, and pushing us to a Game 5. Fingers crossed. I want more.
You're good enough to make it this far. You're good enough to be able to take a couple of games. And if you're good enough to take a couple of games, you can take the whole set. That is the hope for Danby and MyKO as we get into game number 3. No change in the stage, even though Red Team looked very solid here. I think it's just a matter of being able to shut down that game plan, really stopping MVD from, you know, being able to group up with Mute and being able to get that C4 stuck to him, which really just kind of creates just a whole portion of the stage that they get to control, and mobily so. There was that stick. You saw it even in the middle of a scramble. MVD found the time for it, but that time blew up his own teammate.
That's right. So, you know, I'm just getting my legs underneath me, okay? This is just shoot around. This is practice, all right? Once this next set of C4 comes out, I will be in a good spot. Oh, my goodness, but MuteAce has certainly been in better spots. MyKO said, no, this is your KO. Love that. F smash, center stage, getting it done. I sometimes forget about how destructive the smash attacks are on Game & Watch. Jeez, man. Just, again, being able to bury right into the F smash, that is just a look, that's a built-in combo. That's some DLC stuff right there.
Crazy that is a combo, too.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you bury somebody. Like, a smash attack into smash attack should, like, never be a combo. That's crazy.
C-stick into C-stick. What's the other control stick for? And I just flick this yellow one. It's crazy.
Yellow control stick is all you need. That's your best friend. Mute, though, looks like Peach Bomber is his best friend, taking that first stock. But there is a 9 out of nowhere to take MVD stock, and he's grinning in the player cam because he's just like, you know what, I was already at it. This might as well be happening.
Yeah, you know, I was long overdue for a 9 anyway. Oh, nice. Love the read. A lot of up underneath pressure there. Up tilt into up smash into another up tilt. That shield was taken up, beaten right there. Was smart right there on Danby to be able to apply a little bit of pressure using egg. Obviously can't physically get too close. Don't want to be on the receiving end of anything Snake and Peach are tossing out. But does find a way to bust up the fun. There's Nair again off stage. And again, actually not going for the 2v1. MVD deciding to disengage and electing to just use C4 instead. My toolkit that I've been so famously known for, I'm going to let that do my dirty work. No need to get my hands messy.
I got to say, between MyKO and MVD, it has been really, really impressive the way that their doubles awareness has manifested. Like a lot of just, okay, this is where I should back off. This is where I should be more aggressive. Maybe I should just kind of stand here and buy some time for my teammate to get set up and do their thing. I think that both of them have done a really, really good job of that. There is another forward smash off the top with that pan. MuteAce getting the red team back in the lead on this one.
Okay, but for how much longer? In this lead, and again, we've seen stock counts like this before where, you know, one side has a stock down, but, you know, the other's team has two, you know, very critically ill, you know, people on the red team, or opposite side rather. So, I mean, the tide of this battle can certainly shift here at the moment's notice, but yes, to address the elephant in the room, yeah, it's not looking good for the blue team. Snake in the corner, there's Nikita.
Not often you get to see the time to throw that out in doubles, but MuteAce was just really locked in a duel against MyKO on the other side of the stage, so MVD was just able to kind of handle things over there. Stock is taken from MuteAce, but also down goes MVD, so hold on, we got a game.
MVD decides to get handsy, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Danby. Goes for the backer because he knows that is multiple hits. And then as all hit, he decides to drop it at the last second and got hit with that final hit of backer into, you know, I think that was smash attack right there. Not good.
C4 out of nowhere. I think that MVD at some point maybe got stuck himself, or it ended up on MyKO. Either way, catching the Game & Watch relatively up high above the platform. Got killed at like 60-something%, which is a huge turnaround because that looked like, man, blue team was really dead even with MVD and MuteAce at this point, but with a Saturn in hand and everything, definitely seems like a 3-0 is going to be on deck.
That's right. It's coming soon to a stream near you. Mr. Saturn in hand, so shielding just became that much more worrisome. There's F smash. Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm
you
still in
shielded it! That is not the play. Charging up an up smash. That's not going to take the stock. I would have expected an up smash from Peach or maybe an F smash from MVD, but instead Danby gets a second lease on life. MVD, what are you doing down there?
Okay, drops down. Okay, Mr. Saturn back in hand again. Nice. Multi-hit on the back here. I see you up tilt. I see you lurking, man. I see the 6 frames of pain. I'm not going to give you any parts of it, though. Get off this stage.
Ooh.
Oh!
Great stuff there by Danby, getting the egg lay. Mute's not going to be able to set up for a kill, and he wants to take down the snake, but instead gets himself put in a compromising position.
We might be in a good spot. However, this is all set with the implication that we're going to get through Army and Kurry here, which ain't going to be the easiest thing to do in the world because we switched off the Incineroar to some other type of fur here, and it is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Trading out the fur for some quills with Sonic heading up things. And, you know, with a snake on the screen, I would almost expect the Incineroar, but also have to consider, right, that with a Peach and a snake both controlling space, Army is really going to kind of get hung out to dry if MVD and MuteAce really focus down on that Olimar, because you're going to have a really hard time playing responsive as an Incineroar. And I think that, I guess the goal here for Blue Team, for Army and Kurry, is to just say, hey, we need to focus on making sure that Army stays alive because he is really easy to 2v1 if he gets caught without his Pikmin.
No doubt about that. Again, you know, when you're without like your strongest tools, you know, even if you have Pikmin, if you don't have the right combination of Pikmin, you could be in for a world of hurt. I mean, just even think of the R.O.B match from a few sets ago. He had the red one, so he knew, oh yeah, man, he's not going to be able to kill this one. But what if he had any other Pikmin on him? He would have been in some real trouble.
Well, Sonic also getting into some trouble. Kurry trying to get past MVD, but you know, put himself in a corner as Sonic does, and MVD had that game plan of throw out the up smash to cover a jump away, and then throw out an up tilt if he gets anywhere near. And that is exactly what took that stock. So game pretty even so far right now. I think that it's going to be one of those matches where it's kind of hard for anybody to really pull away. You're going to be running an even game down to the point where whenever somebody does get into a 2v1 situation, you really got to milk that at the end of the match.
Yeah, you most certainly do. And again, I think as a parent to try to keep this one as airtight as possible. If you start playing and start swinging big in the attempt to try to get a big lead, that's when you're really going to hurt yourself. So comes back up with the spring, of course. Quick frame 4 option, getting in and around MuteAce. Again, not wanting to deal with anything that they're bringing to the table, but we're eating cooked hedgehog tonight. Smooth stuff right here from MVD. Again, his placements of C4 are second to none. We got to figure out a new name, tag, nickname, or something for him because the C4 placements have been just out of control. Okay, going to F-smash for grenades. He said, I need to get rid of these now.
Ooh, okay, so we're going all the way up. Great job by Kurry to keep on the pressure, but can you take that stock? No, MVD bailing off of the Cypher early. All that time those two spent off stage, though, Army was able to get a little 1v1 in with Mute and did take that first stock. That does not mean that things are looking great for Blue Team, though, because if the goal to pick Sonic was to keep Army alive, then that's worked out. But the Sonic has also lost so many stocks in the name of that Red Team has really just been able to build up a cavernous lead.
Yes, they have, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, MuteAce might be sticky here right now, so probably going to jump into the fray. Short hop, float cancel, anything. I mean, that we're going to transfer it, but the real question is, who is it on now? It's like, it's on somebody, one of the characters with darker colors. The real question is who, because you don't want to let it rip too early, and it's on yourself. Oh, it's actually on Sonic. Wow.
On the blue blur himself. He will go to the wayside. So too will that second stock from MVD. So game is definitely not over yet. But again, one of those situations where the odds are just so stacked in the red team's favor. MVD and MuteAce, man, they have definitely built themselves a castle, and one that is nigh unsiegeable at this point with Army being taken down. It is just up to the general and Kurry.
That's right. He said, look, this castle belongs to me. All right. We are kings here. It was bestowed upon us. Divine right, if you will. Nice. Nikita, up smash, and nice. Covering that aerial, but going to homing attack through it. Smart to try to use that. Sacrifice a little bit of percent just to push Snake out of position. No. And, bro, dog, am I tripping? He has to be. I know he can.
Man.
He can hear me. MVD, I know you can hear me. You're the Nikita technician, C4 captain. I don't know. You're something.
MVD plays Snake. Hot take.
Jeez, man.
Taking a moment to discuss what exactly they're going to do coming up next. especially given that Army and Kurry are going to have that stage counter pick. They're going to Pokemon Stadium too, which I would have maybe expected a smaller stage. But then again, given the factors that lead to perhaps that Sonic pick, maybe this is where you get to use that Incineroar a little bit more. But no, we're still sticking with the Sonic on the large stage.
You know, a couple things. I like Sonic on Pokemon Stadium 2 are really just dual platform stages because they have that ability to be able to like jump and really just move across back and forth. Very similar to like Diddy Kong, right? I mean, what really great mobility they have is now just increased tenfold. But then, you know, you also trade off a little bit too because Snake has a pretty okay time here because I don't know if up tilt goes through the platform. I'm pretty sure it might. I mean, those legs,
it surely does.
Those legs are very long. He also gets to stand in the Pokeball portion of the stage and just make that little hub his own. So there's a little bit of give and take right here between these two third-party characters.
Yeah, Snake is a character that just gets to kind of choose, okay, this is a part of the stage I want to control, and I get to because he has so many lingering projectiles that, you know, they're on timers and everything. He gets to choose where some of them go and when they blow up. And especially on stages with platforms like Pokemon Stadium 2 where they're relatively low, you know, you really get to choose between those things. And, yeah, I mean, MVD is probably going to, like, for the most part, pick a platform to be under and then just say, yep, this belongs to the red team.
Yep.
You may not enter.
I will take this. We're cutting off access to the stage. You thought Steve was bad? Wait till I set up shop myself.
Well,
Okay,
both stocks from the blue team have gone incredibly quickly in less than a minute here. But they are both trying to work on one each themselves. Army is able to threaten MuteAce off stage enough that he runs out of resources, so MVD just bails out to that top blast zone to stay alive, let his teammate come back off that Angel platform to bring it back to that 2v2.
That looming threat of those Pikmin in the corner forward air with the right set of Pikmin is devastating. Don't know if MuteAce was aware that they didn't have a jump, but smart of them to use the Peach Bomb to try to fly back up underneath the ledge for a safe recovery. Still got to take into consideration that Olimar can run off and go for down air too. I mean, this is a character not without options. Let's put it that way when it comes to offstage harassment. They can catch it. Okay. Nice.
The Army trying to keep Mute locked down in the corner. I like that.
Yeah, definitely a task within itself. Same could be said about trying to get rid of Snake here. 170% and forward air. I don't know if that would have been enough to actually knock Snake off a Cypher. Frame 5 option, very quick in Sonic's toolkit, but don't know if it has that punch that it can pack to get him off of there.
Yeah,
now,
back air is definitely enough, but yeah, you need a solid single hit to do it with the forward air. And a solid single hit will take Kurry off the top as well. Once again, putting blue team at a very large stock deficit.
Damn!
And the Barbarian slice from MVD.
Whoa, my goodness. Forward air getting it done in a big way off stage. I got to give it to MVD, taking no prisoners right here in this castle we were just talking about before. Okay, so I claim this stock as my own. There's the down throw. Nikita, there it is. No
You were just comboing just for fun, man. Get out of there.
Sends the purple one in. Go check that out. Okay, nice.
I want to deal with this. Okay, here comes Nikita. This is still a 2v1. I don't know where that Nikita went. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-oh, yeah, Nair's going to be able to do it. Not able to whistle through the chaos there fast enough. MVD and MuteAce going to move on, going up 2 games. One more, and that's going to be all we've seen from Kurry and Army.
Love to see that banter between the two teams as well. MVD and MuteAce definitely having a good time. No one just, you know, probably MVD's laughing about, oh, Nikita's so broken. Oh, that's my best friend of all time right there. But, yeah, taking very big advantage of it. Kurry got to wonder what the play is going to be here from now on. He is going to switch over to the Incineroar. And at this point, you got to say, why not? You got to try something else because clearly just not able to get the job done with the Sonic and the Olimar.
Oh, that's big facts. That's big facts. You know, you got to try something new here. And for good reason. I think Incineroar is one of those characters too that can, you know, kind of switch the flow up a little bit. You know, again, Peach is going to approach a lot. That's what she's going to do, okay? She's going to short hop Nair. She's going to forward it. She's going to do a lot of things up close. But if you can figure out a way to revenge through the gaps in her strings, which is a very difficult thing to do because MuteAce's strings are airtight. But if you can do it, you got that revenge, and now you get to control the narrative of the match the way that you probably wanted to do with Sonic. What you doing off this?
No,
wait.
Got way too greedy to see if he could get some sort of cheese on MVD off the side, but MVD said, well, I've got my jump and my Cypher, so I'm just going up away from where I can get even touched. And Kurry got no damage and ended up dying off stage as well, so not a great trade for the blue team, and even with the character switch, has started just the same as that game number 2.
Mega unfortunate indeed. Mega unfortunate, my friend Dre Charles would say back at home. It's not looking good right here for the blue team. Kurry back in hand, nice. Gonna go for the Nair. Wonderful get off me tool, and just a really safe option to get up off the ledge. But one thing that I'm not seeing a lot of that, and it could be a singles only thing with Incineroar, but it's that corner harassment. Palutena and himself both have that down tilt that pops you up in the corner, and then the rinse and repeat starts. Now I know obviously that's a long sequence of events, and it gets you done. Speaking of long sequences, double up tilt, my goodness.
Long sequences and long legs, and a
Damn.
back throw directly into MVD's back air. And Kurry going for more, but can't find it. Too many servings on his plate.
That's right. And then the taunt right there. He said, it's showtime. We got two wrestlers right now fighting in the corner. One's wrestling skills are more similar to something you see from Dragunov. Meanwhile, this one right here is like, look, I need to get my hands on you, and I'm about to throw you to the other side of the room, brother. As
undefeatable as Kurry and Army looked, the Juggernaut has certainly been felled. Could even be a 6 stock by the end of this. Can't even get the Alolan whip out. Pushed into the corner. Kurry does get one on the board, and MVD says, MuteAce, go have some fun.
Yeah, do your thing.
Go have some fun.
He said, Hulk, smash. That's what's going on right now. So you got it, boss. Yeah, get up out the box, man. This ain't USPS.
That's what you deserve. That's what I did when I was moving.
Oh, man.
I got everything out of that box, and then I just, out of here.
It's showtime.
Oh, it's over.
Up throw.
Yeah,
oh,
they're messing with him. Oh, no. Don't save him. No, don't save him.
Don't play with your food. This is Incineroar we're talking about.
I think they've earned the right to play with their food, but yeah, there it is. The forward smash catching that empty jump in. MVD and MuteAce.
I've seen in quite some time.
Definitely the premier team from DFW, it seems,
yes,
right now. These two teaming up for some excellence. But are they going to be able to stop the haul of MVD and MuteAce through this losers bracket? They are coming from losers side here in grand finals. And again, we said, man, Army and Kurry look so undefeatable, and then MVD and MuteAce came through and slapped them up. And we said the same thing about the blue team, who got a quick shield break on MVD kind of out of nowhere.
That's right.
Didn't get the biggest capitalization, but
Mesh
what a crazy start.
Definitely Mesh is saying, you're not going to be able to sit around and shit like maybe you did in some of the other matches. I know you're a very elusive sort of type of character, again, you know, using your projectiles to really do most of the talking here in this match. Then once that zone is broken, people get up close and personal, and then MVD says, I will elect to go for the boxing match because I want to, not because I'm forced to. But if you sit and shield, I got to give it to you. You know, the blue team will definitely make you think twice before pressing L or R.
MVD loves camping. He loves pressing that B button, right? But when it comes down to it, he's always been one of the biggest proponents of learning that CQC with Snake, right? Applying the basics. And we've definitely seen a lot of that come into play. 1 minute into this game, though, we still have not seen a stock yet get taken, and doesn't seem like anybody's particularly in danger of it, did he, with that sort of mid-weight that he's got in this game. Able to survive, does take a trip down with the minecart, but does stay alive nonetheless. Trey 5 there to back him up to stop MuteAce from getting anything going.
MuteAce narrowly missing that short hop forwarder, It looks like trying to chase down MVD again. You got that frame 4 on the down tilt right into something. And MuteAce said, right when you leave that monkey flip animation, I'm there to catch it. Caught you slacking up here on this platform. This ain't where you need to be.
That first stock does get taken from Beastly, who had a ton of that early damage stacked up on top of him. Did a great job of surviving, right? Great DI and everything, but you know, just wasn't able to convert it into a ton of extra damage onto the opponents. And the same will be said for Varun5, taken down by that Snake dash attack.
Oh my God!
Stock taken great from red team, but there goes the first.
That's right. Looking a little bit better right here for the blue team, but they have seen certainly better days. They have to shift focus right here, either on Peach 100% or focusing on Snake to force him to stop stock tanking, of course, and force the share stocks to get the stocks off of MuteAce. Anvil for your troubles. Blue team looking powerful right now. Let's see what the adjustments are going to be on this top platform. Not going to be able to anti-air as easily, of course. I do have grenades. You're going to have to respect these.
Both members of the blue team pushed into the same area alongside each other. I think you had a good point there, Rod. I think that for the blue team to thrive, they've got to do what we've seen be effective against MVD and MuteAce so far, which is focusing down MVD. I think that's what we saw Skinny and Nova do really well. Again, you obviously had the hero with the bounce to really neutralize everything that MVD wanted to do, and particularly one of the reasons that we couldn't see that C4 trick that they've been doing with sticking it to Peach, kind of this whole good run that they've had. But you know, now that they can do it freely, they're definitely looking a lot more comfy. Big trip off stage for MVD, and that's going to let blue team get everything set up on stage.
That's right. Again, I can't lie. I mean, the Steve gameplay is definitely intact right here. Just when I thought, man, maybe they're disengaging just a little bit too much, said, no, I just need my tools in order. This is where I'm going to really come to shine. Even stocks right here. MVD looking fresh. Oh my God, a shield break. And
Oh!
yes, gets Venus and Serena to the top of the blast zone.
Man.
It's looking good right now for the red team.
You saw Beastly try to fly in with the barrels just to do anything to save Varun5, but by that point it was already over. That forward smash already connected. And now it's up to Varun to close this out on his last stock. 1 to red team's 3. Rod, it's already feeling early like I might call that we're going to a reset.
I think we might be going to a reset. I mean, the way that the red team is playing here in this set is just wonderful. I mean, again, the blue team, as strong as they are, you just can't stop the stock tanking. MVD is still alive, but for much longer. Wow, I mean, talk about bravery, staring a gold F smash in the face and just electing the dash attack it. That was crazy.
Good awareness around the Nikita from Varun. He's just focusing on MuteAce. He's just like,
right.
Look, this is a 1v1 with a stage hazard that hates me specifically.
Uh-oh, got him sticky.
It's over.
Yeah, goodbye.
Once you got the sticky on you, not much you can do. Mute's like, ooh, spicy.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Woo.
Woo!
Hit him with the hot ones right there. Great stuff, friends. On the Dreamhack Fighters stream is MVD and MuteAce in grand finals. Again, facing off, versus Varun and Beastly, of course. These 4 sets of teams, right, or these 4 individuals, on these 2 teams have just been poised and battle tested. They are completely ready for this. And as it stands right now, MuteAce and MVD, of course, very warmed up coming into this whole set. Played 2 back-to-back games, and now here we are in grands. I got to see something different here from the blue team because as it stands, MuteAce historically, has a pretty good showing against some of the best thieves in the world. And, of course, Diddy Kong is definitely Diddy Kong. Not a bad character, a phenomenal character piloted properly, but a character that we all know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely not that, just crazy things happen all at once kind of character. So instead, Beastly is going to the nest, who can do 2 things. 1, get those explosives out of here. That is now my healing.
Yes.
And second of all, can hit very, very hard. We might see a bit more of Varun5 sort of on the front line trying to swing things out. Maybe Beastly being sort of a responder, especially at those higher percents. But at these lower percents, I mean, look, Beastly is an aggressive player who loves to press buttons, and Ness is going to let you do that.
Ness is most certainly going to let you do that. Going to spend a lot of time in this area, too. I'm just a little worried when it comes to MVD because, now you're floating around him, which is okay. But if you misstep, if you overextend, I mean, I'm talking if you're even off by a pixel or a frame, you're going to eat it up tilt. But MVD, unfortunately, just leaving the top of the blast zone, got a little too close for comfort up there, and it looks like, did he explode? Is that what it was?
I was looking at the other side of the screen, but I think that he C4'd himself. I didn't think he didn't realize that he got stuck.
Jesus, man, he schmixed himself. It happens. That's how you know you're too good at the game. Blue team's definitely going to take the W's where they can find them, and they're looking good right now. Ness is here, using that down smash from the corner. Obviously, give himself a little bit of leeway, but not too much because, again, you got to make sure your strings are airtight and be able to up-tilt through the chaos as MVD. Up air.
Ooh,
back
very
air.
Scary burn on that PK Thunder, and Varun, without a ton of resources, is going to drop that first stock as well. Now he can follow up more, take out the Cypher, and take out MuteAce. The switch to the Ness, along with Varun just playing nice on that zombie.
Now, wait a doggone minute. Wow, I mean, now that's how you deal with Snake off stage. Not very many moments where you see them recover that type of way. But again, when I see these opportunities, I need to seize them. We'll love that. That's how you deal with Snake off stage. Okay, there's a down air. Nair immediately off the stage. And now we're starting to see more down airs, especially in the corner from MVD. First stomp is frame 3, so very quick out of shield option, too.
You see MuteAce just playing so defensively, waiting for MVD to get back down to the ground. Ness able to live with those tall Hollow Bastion blast zones. Is able to hang on, both Mute and MVD alive, but in disadvantage. Beastly getting a little bit aggressive here and does take that stock from MVD, who is immediately sharing with MuteAce. Give me that.
Yeah, I will take that and then some. Love that parry. Back throw, not enough to do it, but I'm switching focus right now. You just KO'd my teammate, now I got to come get you. PK fire. It's not looking good. Oh, my Lord. Jeez. I mean, but you know, when you got the stock lead like this, why the heck not?
Why not? Definitely looking very solid for blue team. I said calling a reset, did not forecast the character change. Great use of the PK Thunder to knock Snake off the Cypher, then following up on Mute as well. And no, it's not the PK Thunder, it's the forward air. Wow, what a change up from the blue team.
I'm liking
a miss.
I'm liking this. You know, I like the idea of Sonic. I certainly love the idea of Incineroar, even if it's not competitively viable in certain instances. Who doesn't like seeing Incineroar get busy? But I was not expecting Ness to do what Ness did. Again, the residual damage to PK Fire, holding the opponents down in place, especially a character like Peach that's always moving. Now you have to not only just you know, rework your routes, but also have to work around PK Fire if it does hit. Now you're holding shield. Holding shield just long enough, I mean, that just gives my teammate the prime opportunity to come in and bust you up. Wow. That is adjustments one-on-one if I've ever seen them. One game apiece here, friends. We prophesized the reset. I don't know how this is going to go down.
And now that we've got the change up to the nest, I mean, yeah, it just looks like it's working out super well. MVD can't just throw out that C4 as much as he wants to. Even got mixed on his very first stock. Didn't know where it was, ended up taking himself off the top. And man, on top of that, just there's so much more potent kill power for the blue team, and that has been the real change. Beastly is an aggressive player at heart. He's been using that Diddy to harass and then kind of relying on Varun to clean up the stocks. And instead, now he's like, look, I'm going to harass them. Maybe I'm not quite as safe when I'm harassing, but I can definitely take those stocks, and he has been happily doing so with this nest.
I mean, I'm talking big smile on his face. Like, we're not even, like, figuratively speaking. Like, he is having a great time. And then here's another thing, too. When you're trying to harass MVD on the way down, he's going to drop C4, right? He's going to drop a grenade. He's like, okay, I need to get you off of me. And this move, visually, the average player probably going to struggle to see it on the way down. A skilled Ness or Lucas is going to wait for that, wait for you to try to detonate it on top of him, and then absorb it. But wait a minute, you can't absorb the turnip. Get stuffed out off stage, homie.
Really, really good stuff by MuteAce to recognize that situation, that Beastly was already way too far to make it back on his own power, and Varun was going out there to try to save him in some way, but Mute threw that turnip to interrupt that PK Thunder path and make it so that he only travels that half distance, and that meant that Varun couldn't go out there safely enough to save Beastly in any way, so just kind of had to let that stock drop. So unsung, really good stuff from Mute in that interaction.
And on the topic of dropping out of the up smash right there again, when you see Steve swing up smash, your best bet is to get out of the way. If you don't get out of the way, there's a chance it might scoop you up, and for good reason there, but was able to narrowly escape. Peach out of the picture. 2 stocks apiece right now, but at this time, I got to be honest, you know, Ness bleeding out maybe a little bit more than what I was used to. I know that they've kind of figured out this character here was the X factor in the last match. Let's shift focus towards him a little bit more.
Great doubles awareness, though, and I love, again, great doubles awareness. First we saw, okay, Varun's picking up that combo. I'm going to go ahead and focus on MuteAce, right? That's the Beastly thought process there. And then, okay, Varun, you're done comboing MVD. I'm coming over there to eat that grenade. Now you focus on MuteAce. Really, really good team play right there, and just kind of that unspoken stuff that's so hard to build in a very short amount of time. But these two, again, that synergy that they have has been so impressive, and look at them continuing to keep this game even, and now even have the lead.
That's right. Now let's see how long they can retain it. This is smooth stuff right now. I feel like also Ness has lived quite a long time just eating in various moments the grenades, but you know what? You can't absorb a cart. Unfortunately enough, ended up doing it to his own teammate. That's okay. Here's an up air. Okay, we've seen this matchup before. In fact, I want to say the Ness Snake matchup was actually figured out on Texas soil all those years ago.
Yeah, a lot of Austin versus MVD. Yeah, this very right. Snake, right?
That's
but
right.
Beastly, you know, every now and then does carry that, you know, being the champion of the Texas Nest, right? Sometimes he will pull this character out, and again, certainly working very well. MVD already at 87%. Varun still has the Steve alive and has a diamond ready for that next stock once he does go down at 156. If he goes down, I should say. I don't want to speak too soon.
Uh-oh, wait a minute, and the back air is getting crazy. Yes, it's leg day every day in Snake's gym. Ness off stage, 118%. Whoever drops the stock here definitely shifts the entire tide here of this match. PK Fire, B reverse on the opposite way. I'm switching focus.
Man, Trey 5's defense, it's been a very aggressive defense to make sure that Beastly can stay alive. Build up so many blocks and comboed off of it. MVD is not laughing, but Varun definitely is able to take him off the top. Or sorry, that was actually Beastly, so he's the one that's laughing right there. Regardless, 2 high percentage stocks on the red team. MuteAce gives Varun an opening to try to deal with MVD, and now the target switch, what's it going to be?
Oh my goodness, coast to coast, out into the blast zone. Still not enough to get it done. Snake is a very large and in charge sort of fellow. A lot of gear he's carrying there.
That still blew my mind back in the day. Oh, MuteAce going way down. Able to make it back to the ledge, but Varun still keeping this so close. He has got the diamond tools. Gets blown up by the nades. Still not enough to take a stock. MVD with the follow-up, but nothing yet to take him all the way off the top. No iron available.
Oh, no! Oh, okay, but into the down tilt. Probably wasn't ready for the down smash. Not looking for, okay. There's the sticky. My wall's built up. Who's it on?
Only a couple of tools have the diamond left for Varun. He did pick up another one, but I don't know that he's ever going to have the time to actually craft it, because those two are guarding that crafting table like a hawk. And there's MVD cleaning it up with that up tilt. Not really happy with how that game ended. But Varun and Beastly, they do that spinning finger, run it back.
Run it back one more time. Remix.
Going right back
I
to
need the
small
reprise.
battlefield one more time. Because it was so close, you might as well.
It was, you know, and again, it's so much to really like kind of break down. Now, I do love the adjustments that I think MuteAce and MVD made towards Ness. You know, Ness is one of those characters where they feel like they can just move freely and do whatever they want. Once they get that sort of comfortability set in place in their mind subconsciously, Ness, you can't tell him nothing at that point. He's wilding.
The moves are going out and you are not punishing them. That is how that character works.
And he did a really good job at, like, you know, playing the force. Lava on MVD, especially knowing that, okay, these are how many hits I can get before he tries to drop a C4, before he tries to drop a grenade. Same could be said certainly for Peach too, but they were able to dig deep, and they kind of picked both sides apart. They're like, this guy's off stage. Ness takes a while to come back. Let's focus on Steve. Steve takes a while to come back. He's out there floating merrily along like Mary Poppins. Let's shift focuses back on Ness. And that is just prime doubles 101.
Seen definitely some great fundies on either side from both of these teams, but MVD and MuteAce been a little bit stronger so far, up 2-1 in one more game. They will reset this grand finals, much to the chagrin of my vocal cords, but also will make me happy to see a little bit more Smash Brothers. Right now, though, Beastly is the one getting bopped around. Looks like, you know, if that happens a few more times, then yeah, we're going to a grand finals reset. That's
right. It is all a matter of time, though. Again, another set where we kick off, and Ness is just these dark red percents, not even a minute in. I mean, I think the game plan that the red team is bringing is certainly working nice. Tries to go for downer in the corner, first stomp, frame 3. He's looking for some quick options in the corner, but not enough. MuteAce said, yeah, back off this stage, and I'm applying a little bit of this rage, my friend. What we gonna do with it? Forward throw? No, actually goes for the down throw. Knew that one lasts the longest and knew that he needed some grab armor there. Smooth.
Yeah. Again, one of those doubles things that like you really don't learn until you play it quite a bit. But yeah, you got to mix up which throws you normally do, because if you're too predictable, then yeah, you're definitely going to get punished hard for it. Just like MVD got punished over there in the corner. Blue team, despite how much Beastly got knocked around there at the beginning of that game, are going to be the ones getting off to the lead. Now does get tied back up. There's that down throw like you were talking about, Rod. A great throw in doubles to set up for your teammate. But Varun right there helping out his teammate by getting that KO, and now looking to stay alive, potentially to get those diamond tools going and get ready for that next stock. And here he goes back to mining merrily.
That's right. Well, it's all a matter of time here. Again, when I get my tools set up in order, I become the most dangerous character on screen, really, honestly, in the game. And we've seen it in good reason at the end of the last game. Even despite it being a 2v1, I couldn't help but to feel like the red team is still scared. Like, well, I might be in some real trouble. Wait a minute, but that trouble's starting to dissipate a little bit. We've evened out these stocks here. Red team looking good.
Loving what they're doing to hold down the stage. I mean, again, blue team's a little bit in the lead, but the interruption from the Nikita and Varun5, again, old habits die hard, could not get down there in time to save Beastly right there. So MVD and MuteAce definitely getting a little bit of a gift, a nice play from that Nikita missile. But again, you know, sitting at those higher percents with Varun really hardly touched, definitely could still be blue team's game to win.
That's right. But again, it really comes down to how we're going to deal with Snake on the red team, and I think, you know, funnily enough, Ness on the blue team. At first I thought it has to be the Steve show. Like, Steve is the X factor. Steve is playing a very good support role, loving everything they're bringing to the table. But it's Ness. Ness is this Dennis to Menace right here, and MVD knows exactly why. Nice. Being able to SDI up and away out of that PK fire, but just to get sent up and away with that up air. Even stocks all across the board. Varun and Beastly win this one. They push it to a game number 5. MuteAce and MVD do this. We go to a whole new set.
Oh my gosh, the 2v1 on MVD, as we've seen before, and in a panic, MVD does blow up that C4, takes MuteAce off the top, but down goes that Nest stock, immediate share, because you know that Trey's going to have, or Varun is going to have some survivability, and does have the diamond tools ready as well, but sitting at 111%, a C4 can do it. Down air, not enough, but it is leaving Beastly in a lot of these 1v2s on stage.
And we're seeing a lot of these like really safe options come out here on MVD's behalf. We got to see that up tilt, great party starting option, and for damn sure, a great party ending option. Not quite enough, maybe much to the mind of, you know, again, knowing that, Steve, I'm at these dark red percents. Snake, he's looking to take this stock. I cannot allow him to have it. He's going to try to toss something sneaky out. There's short hop forwarder. MVD off this stage. Has to go low. Nice. Air dodge is on the way back up. Both characters off stage right now. Are we going to push this to a game 5, or is this going to be a reset? Nice. Tries to walk the dog in the corner.
I
Dash
love
attack.
That. I love MuteAce going to the ledge and really making it hard
What
for
the?
Beastly
No
to
way.
double up. Holding down, and Mute had the turnip in hand, so he definitely was not able to get the KO there. Beastly bringing it down to a 1v1, and at this point, like a back throw could do it if it's near the ledge.
Okay, nice. Goes for the drift, looking for the backer. PK Fire to try to stop the movement objects. I talked a little bit about this before the match kicked off. Okay, PK. No, absolutely not. Okay, there's Nair. Gets away from the ledge. Does not want to be popped out of position. Fair, not going to be enough, but we did get the red stuff.
Just a little tickle with the tail of that Thunder, but still Beastly not able to close it out. We're going to go back to the PK Thunder. Mute with some good evasion. And yeah, Beastly's not going to overcommit here. You have to watch out for the up smash and for the throw both. They can both be potent kill tools from Ness. But it's going to be the back air sliding in to pick up the turnip. We're going to game 5.
Picks up the turnip and gets the back air at the same time. I mean, there is not another player on the screen right now who wanted it more than him. Wow. Game number 5 here is upon us. MVD and MuteAce, of course, coming through from that loser side, playing absolutely out of their mind. But look, need to let them know and send that message. We are in the winner's side of the Grand Finals for a reason, my friend. Okay, tread lightly.
You better be careful. You better be careful. I mean, even going down to, just showing how good that Ness still is from Beastly. It's thrown out in a few matchups. Beastly does not normally play Ness against MuteAce. He is way more experienced doing the Diddy against Mute's Peach. But making that Ness work in that 1v1, and partially maybe that's a little bit of Mute being unfamiliar with how that Ness was going to function there and had to adapt so quickly.
That's right.
When Ness has got those quick kill moves to throw out.
Yes, they do. Again, a couple forward airs, you know, again, it just kind of whittles away at your mental. Again, forward air, you know, when it comes to getting stocks taken, I'm probably leaning more into like down air if I got the right positioning, back air or up air. Forward air, I'm looking just for damage to chain along. And if we're in those super dark red percents, it might take your stock. But the rinse and repeat, I think, was a little bit too much for MuteAce. So here we go. We're repeating all 4 characters here. Small battlefield, potential final game.
Repeating the characters, but some of the game plan changing up a little bit. I like that MVD has been trying to be very aggressive against Varun5, trying to stop him from mining. That's one of the biggest things that I think the red team has identified has really been letting Varun's gameplay tick, and he's just constantly having access to really, really powerful tools. And MVD trying to be very aggressive to shut that down early on, but did not work out because he took a ton of damage in the process, and he is the first to lose a stock here in game number 5.
And here's one of those things where once you push Snake out of his comfortable game plan, like he's like, oh, I can't just set up shop anymore, or I can't just drop C4 or grenade. That's what Ness brings to the table in this matchup. Are you sure you want to press the B button? Typically, it should be innate. I should be able to drop it and not even think twice about it. The minute you start thinking twice versus Ness, he's already outswinging you. Beautiful stuff here. Blue team right now with a bit of a lead. Let's see what they're going to do right here to extend it. Nice. Up smash in the corner. Try to hold him down. And can't quite read the roll in from the ledge. We're possibly looking for up tilt or something, but it doesn't seem to matter because, oh my goodness, stocks are just flying.
The thread that is attaching the red team into staying in this game, despite that early stock loss from MVD, is the fact that MuteAce has been doing a phenomenal job of just not getting hit. That's one of his hallmarks as a player, is just not getting hit, one of the fundamental rules of Smash. And only sitting at 90% and has been there for about like a minute straight.
Jesus.
Does finally get caught by an up smash from Varun, but it is not nearly enough to take him off the top. So red team definitely hanging on because of that phenomenal defensive gameplay from MuteAce. It's just going to be down to whether they can take advantage of it now.
Phenomenal gameplay and really phenomenal game plan. Again, we've seen it maybe, I think it was in game 2 or 3, but the whole ideology behind, I can't get these stocks taken off of Peach because, like you said, the evasion is so smooth. They're so nimble. They're so dainty in the air. I don't have time to chase Princess Peach around. Let's focus on Snake. We're going to force these stocks to be taken one way or another.
And that focus is definitely working out. 54% already on MVD through that cavalcade of hitboxes. And Beastly continuing to pile on the pressure, going way up high.
Oh, no, you didn't!
Mute is going to take advantage of that to even up those stocks.
The tech of a lifetime, but that stock is on a lifeline right here. Love this on the way back down. F smash, it's looking good right here. It's definitely looked better for the red team. We have to focus on Steve. There's up smash. Can I get another Mary Poppins to get this stock taken? Can I get one?
Mute might need to be on the lookout for it because it's going to be tough to close out these last stocks. But Mute can't get too cute because at 111%, if he loses that stock, it is the home stretch. It will be all but over for the blue team to seal it out. So MVD and MuteAce are sticking together.
Oh, wait, speaking of sticky, somebody has a sticky on them somewhere. Nice, going to go for the down throw, waiting for the roll in. I know you're going to try to stop me. The down throw lasts quite a bit of time. Up tilt. Wait a second.
We got a game.
Okay, it comes down to this now. We need to see some of that pristine evasion that we've seen in some interactions prior here from MuteAce. Do not touch me. Up smash, looking for the scoop. Get off my shield. Okay. Forwarder, you going to kiss the crown? Back throw? No, forward throw. No!
Wait a second! Beastly is gone! It's a 1v2. Varun has got to clutch it out all on his lonesome. Does have not the best tools either, and kind of dwindling on resources as well. This is a game, Rod.
I am afraid of this. Nice. And again, your whole ideology behind Steve should come down to how you respect Cart. If you know it's coming, you're going to be in a good spot. Oh, dang. Wait a minute.
1v1. Steve versus the Steve Slayer. Varun versus Mute. Varun's got that percentage advantage and does get up to those gold tools. You don't even need the diamond to take care of it at this point, just as long as you're able to launch that peach, and you are definitely looking for that back air. But look at the evasion. Jeez, man.
And what little bit of shield you have left. You cannot afford to play out of shield, even though that's where some of your strongest options come out as peach. Looking for the grab. Nice mix up on the anvil. Another back air, too. Merrily, we float along through this.
Mute is flying around the screen like an
No way.
Osu map. Yeah, the forward air is not going to be enough to take it. He's going deep to threaten Varun, who is out of the pickaxe. He is still hanging on by a thread, but he does not have tools to fire back with.
Now, wait a daggone minute. How are they living for this long? Get up attack off the ledge, 151%. I'm talking mere percentages separating these two strong individuals. Command grab. Come on, stop playing with me.
Oh, it's there.
Stop playing with
Mute
me.
with the clutch. It's a grand finals reset. If you thought it was going to end early, the Groundhog has shown his shadow. One more set.
Here we go, friends. We back up in it. A little bit of afraid on how that one was all going to wrap up. Again, this is Steve in the 11th hour. You got the right set of, well, you got an okay set of tools. You didn't quite have the right set of tools, but regardless, a lot of what MuteAce was bringing to the table was not enough to KO. But if there's a will, there's most certainly a way. Resiliency and brilliancy right there on MuteAce and MVD's behalf. We're going to another set. I'm here for this.
And all of that starting off of just a wayward dirt block being set off stage that Beastly got tossed into, wasn't ready for the tech for, and it ended up being the deciding factor because in that 1v2, Varun just could not close it out in the 1v1 or necessarily take advantage of that 1v2. Do see Mute switching it up to the Palutena here.
Okay.
Despite the success that they've had, maybe thinking that this is going to be a bit more effective against the Nest that has been really giving this MVD and MuteAce team some fits. So, yeah, Palutena could be a good changeup, can definitely deal with that Nest a little bit more, but we got a whole nother set to play. Let's get it. Game one once again.
Let's see how it all unfolds right here. A whole new narrative to be written, or depending on how this all goes down, rewritten. Nice. Got Snake off stage. MVD has spent a lot of time in the air throughout the majority of this set, too. I don't know if he wants to be in the air. Could be to his own dismay. I don't think he wants to be in this air. You might want to get some boots back on the solid ground and fast, all right?
Dismayed indeed, yeah. Sent very, very deep down there, but he's able to live because Snake's so heavy, has that incredible recovery.
Woo.
Oh my gosh, a little Sonic Adventure 2 for your troubles right there, but it will be a MuteAce stock, quickly followed by a Beastly stock, both flying into the blast zone. So the two players to change up their characters, and now MVD getting a little too cute to try to challenge that Nest recovery is going to take a trip to that bottom blast zone as well.
Unfortunate stuff indeed. Able to even out these stocks here. But wait a minute, I say that, but Steve right now sitting very, very comfortable at only 88.7%. Got to figure out a way to mount this wall that they build up. The disengaging has been huge right here in this match. Again, just being able to always get my tools in order, knowing the perfect time to break away to get stuff like this happening is huge. Okay.
Varun is doing such a good job of picking times to mine, too, and get some of those resources built up. Because we've already seen iron tools, now we see the diamond tools, and if you get a second diamond queued up for that next stock, after that forward smash, I almost didn't know if we would even need it, given the lead that they would have built up right there. But still, Varun holding on to that first stock still. I mean, Beastly has just been on the front line and living up to his name. Finally, that first Varun stock goes down, but blue team definitely sitting comfy.
That's right. That comfortability might come back to bite them here pretty soon. They got to try to keep it fresh. Explosive Flame, I love that through the blocks, through the chaos, and using it as a way to cut off access to your crafting table. Such smooth stuff right here, but wait a minute, we back in it though. And I got a little bit of gold right here. Okay, but is all that glitters actually gold? We're going to have to find out because didn't really make much use off of that. But short hop Nair, of course, is a very tough and daunting thing to work on, even to be this late into Ultimate's meta. Again, those 5 frames of pain, they are not to be taken lightly in Palutena's toolkit.
Big combo tool, but Beastly right there with the parry on the final hit, identifying it correctly, keeping Mute at the ledge, and this is a 1v1 that Beastly will absolutely take with that lead that Varun has. Still only at 99%. Has got a little bit of resource built up as well. Tech chase right here. MVD not able to follow up perfectly. Does follow Varun all the way to the corner. They are trading moves constantly.
Man, looking for that first hit on F tilt. Frame 4, nice. The good temperature checker. What's the option going to be? Am I going to delay the second hit, or I'm going to wait for you to show your hand first and then rinse and repeat the scenario, man? That CQC on Snake, again, it just sometimes feels unmatched. I'm up underneath this platform, though. Looking for up tilt, possibly. I'm sharking at least. I hear the Jaws theme. Wait a minute.
Both members of Red Team, though, definitely sitting at those dangerous percents. 90 and above is where Ness and Steve both can start doing some serious damage. No two-frame there from Beastly, though, not quite on top of the timing. One-up smash does get traded with another move, but not enough to take that stock. So one apiece, but definitely Varun just needs to kind of stay center stage and not get taken out quick.
And I almost wonder if the switch to Palutena, you know, was for Ness. You know, you have somebody who's a lot longer, a little bit more disjointed. Like, I have this now luxury to just, and I see Ness jump in front of me, I'm just going to F-tilt. It's a long-lasting something. I don't need to do much. I don't even need to move out of position. Speaking of moving out of positions, you might want to move out of your teammate's position. Let that light shine all over him. Is that up smash? Dash attack, not quite enough right here. False finish, but it ain't looking good right now for MuteAce. Absolutely not.
What incredible timing by Beastly. I don't know if that was a reaction or just a really good read on the way that Mute has been tending to get off that ledge, but I think that he really just had covered. Okay, here's where the invincibility runs out. Mute loves to hang on that ledge until that moment where the invincibility is gone, and you have to be able to pay attention to your own percents to know when that is as that person on the ledge. But Beastly was paying attention, and he knows that habit from MuteAce and picked that up with the back air to just immediately, first frame that Palu's standing on stage, gone into the blast zone.
Because you would be ill-advised to let her come back to that stage and start playing from the corner, because you know she's going to be looking for a couple of things. She's going to be looking for either like short hop, you know, forward air to keep you at bay, nair too, which we've seen a lot of. Hell, we've even seen just like, you know, throw, back throw, or grab, excuse me, back throw. That right there is enough. She's a phenomenal character in the corner if things are going her way. But I think the beauty of Ness and just those quick buttons that he has, that he's good at putting you in a position that might make it feel like it's your way, but it's not really your way, okay? You don't got no answer for Nair on shield 3 times in a row. What are you going to do about this?
If Ness hits your shield, it's not your turn.
It's not your turn.
That's just sort of an invariable truth. You just got to let it go.
That's right. You just got to hold that. Respect the fact that Ness is a very wild child. He's going to do whatever the heck he wants. As you can see right here, the meta has not stopped in that direction. Of course, immediately getting him off stage. Oh, double parry right here. MVD is locked in on this platform, activated, if you will. But you got to get them boots back on the solid ground, okay?
Yeah, you mentioned wild child. My brain's just still thinking about Major League with Charlie Sheen walking out of the bullpen. You make my heart sing.
That's right. That's right. Oh, my God. A throwback. Oh, my goodness. A throwback and almost a rinse and repeat from what we've seen in the previous game. Of course, Varun not quite able to get back to that stage unscathed. Was able to figure out a way back in, though. Nice. Love that.
Yeah, using the hitbox of the magnet to deactivate the Nikita. You're almost never really going to be able to absorb it. Is able to get back to stage there. But, yeah, being able to just turn that hitbox offline by hitting it with one of your own. And Varun's just happy to keep on mining his jolly little way away over on these platforms and building up these resources, because it's harder to get the valuable stuff when you're on a wood stage like Town and City and you're using up that axe.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Again, manageability of your tools, I think, has been kind of a constant force throughout the majority of this set, especially like watching all 4 of these individuals play with all the characters out they played with. Peach getting a lot of use out of those turnips and Mr. Saturn, but definitely the turnips when it comes to stuffing on Ness's recovery. However, you got Nikita and Grenade. Certain interactions with Snake, it's huge, you know, versus Ness. But then sometimes they're just invalidated. They're like, these things don't actually even, they don't even work with Ness. In that case, it most certainly does. Don't even think about pressing down B off stage. I got the, oh my God, I got the control, but it didn't last very long, though, on the blue team.
2 stocks finally taken from that red team, but yeah, despite that, again, the stuff you're talking about, especially just how solid MVD's gameplay has been in this one, I think has definitely been the one to turn the tides. It is looking rough for blue team here in this game number 2. It feels like one of those sets that's just like, it's inevitable from like game 1. You can kind of tell, okay, this is going to game 10. We're in this one for the long haul. These first 9 games are kind of a formality. It might as well be just coming down to that last one, because it's been so back and forth.
No doubt about that. I mean, again, we just, you know, again, the constant back and forth, I think, just kind of proves the idea that these 2 teams are so battle-tested and so ready, you know what I'm saying, to go against each other the way that they are. But somebody's going to have to pull away here quick. And again, given the nature of kind of their off-stage presence, I'm really seeing shades of a little bit more of an aggressive style gameplay, if you will. I mean, before, you know, we played more of the ledge trap game, which with all 4 of these characters is a very terrible thing to have to work around. But the off-stage game, we're even seeing it with Snake now. Well, doesn't even mind just running off and going for down or nair if he has to. Yeah, he wants it bad.
Aggressive in the corner, too, yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay, that could have been bad.
I just saw an explosive, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. There's a snake on the screen. Didn't realize how much power it was packing.
That's right. That was Bob right there. Now, that could have been horrible. Okay.
Now, wait a second.
Blue team.
1 stock apiece right now. Blue team could get something huge. Beastly just misspacing that down air. Definitely wouldn't have taken the stock from MuteAce, but definitely would have left them in a good spot. Hold on a second, Rod!
This is looking phenomenal right here. Percent's not quite speaking to the blue team, but the situation itself certainly is. Now, if we can figure out a way to preserve as much as possible, we'll be good to go. But you got a lot of homework here to make up, because all MuteAce has to do is just sneeze on you in the corner, and you're going to lose that stock.
And it looks like Varun's going to be the one to take the front lines as the one at the lower percent. I mean, it has definitely been one of those situations where MuteAce shown in those 1v1s how good he is. You got to hold on to this 2v1 as long as possible, because he is just a one-man wrecking crew if he's able to be in that 1v1. Beastly getting aggressive and buying some time for Varun to get back to stage. See if Mute can threaten to get this game back into red team's hands when it looked like they so surely had it.
Okay, playing an up close and personal game. Both of these two so safe on shield. Trying to keep him away. Oh, dash attack, you're a dangerous fellow. Now you got to watch yourself. Before, you were able to use your projectile. Oh, my
Shield
goodness.
Poke, though.
That's right. You're in trouble. Now, can we get a rinse and repeat, or is this going to be something different?
129%. Definitely there are possibilities to set up for that kill, but again, Pete, sometimes 129 is not even enough, especially center stage, and that is where Varun5 is firmly planting his feet when possible off stage. There's the 1 hit, but as they say, Peach has got to win by 2.
That's right. Sometimes it feels like she's kind of ice skating uphill. Turn up in hand. I got to see a big play here and fast, because the longer we allow Steve to disengage, the more potent he becomes once he comes off the other side of that wall.
I think he's perfectly happy to do that. I mean, you look at the resources, maximum iron, tons of gold already, and diamond tools in hand. What else is Varun going to gain from this?
That's true. Doesn't get much more dangerous than this. Now you just have to keep being elusive. Forwarder gets it done. MuteAce and MVD put a game on the board for themselves.
Man, and it looked like the blue team had actually brought that back, but instead the marathon will continue with it being 1-1. We need at least 2 more to close out this set.
That's right. This is exactly what you came to see. I mean, again, this is prime time Smash Ultimate doubles action, and I couldn't think of a better way to close out, especially in grand finals. We have the reset, and more importantly, we have, you know, the local heroes here that are going to hold it down, but you also have the outer region invaders who are very acclimated with Texas. You know, they come down here quite a bit, but at its core, you know, especially with us being inside the FGC, you know, as loving as it is, we definitely want to hold down our own region. Keep these invaders out.
Defend the region, for sure.
We got to.
And look, I'm just hoping these guys, you know, wrap up this set as quickly as possible, because I got a movie at 7.
Uh-oh.
And, you know, 30-minute drive to the theater. I'm getting a little worried, but I signed up for this. And I would rather be here than, you know, at the movie theater eating popcorn and pizza with my friends.
Pizza's great, but Smash
I might
Ultimate.
be lying a little bit, but I am always excited to be on the mic for a very exciting set, which is what we're getting right now.
That's where I'm getting my commentary legs back up underneath myself. You know, there's a lot of talks out there. You know, when you you hit a certain level in commentary, you know, doing it as long as we have, you're like, you know, these are prima donnas up here, blah, blah. I was like, no. Been up here for 4 hours standing as
4
well,
hours
friends.
straight, yeah, standing.
4 hours standing.
If you can't tell, we're standing at the
That's right.
standing at the desk.
That's right. We are both standing, okay? And it's been a great time down here in Dallas, Texas.
Let me get on my chair real quick. Okay,
That's right.
yeah.
There
hey,
you go.
We're the same height.
We're about the
Great.
same height. There it is. Oh, my goodness. And the aggression in these matches are definitely leading to new heights. I got to give it to MVD and MuteAce. Again, no longer playing the ledge game, more so electing to actually go off stage to get it. And I love the adjustments. Sometimes you just have to reach out and grab those opportunities. Stop knocking on open doors. If you see it, take it. But I got to see some differences right here from the blue team. These are more 2v1, one-on-one situations that they have unfortunately fumbled. If they could have just clutched out the last one or the one before that, they would have been in a good spot right now with that first place Dreamhack Monster Energy money. But yet here we are.
Game number 3 on to Battlefield, a place where it is it's certainly a nest playground, right? Just jump up on these platforms, throw out some of those aerial hitboxes that are going to be just about impossible to contest, right? That's definitely going to be one of the game plans here for the blue team. But, you know, red team, on the other hand, we saw them earlier play on this stage, and they looked so solid because you know, again, they're just so fluid in their game plans. They can kind of respond to whatever the blue team throws at them. So I think that they're happy to play on a stage where just that aggression gets kept up the whole way through.
Yeah, aggression is definitely key right here. But knowing when to use it and stylize it, I think is so important in a matchup like this. And of course, MVD, 91%, hanging out. Varun looking good right now. Beastly, of course, getting it done with this nest. But I can't help but to notice that the red team's percent starting to fall out of favor here ever so slightly. Nice. Nothing off the C4, and that whole tactic behind, you know, MVD's C4 placements a couple sets ago, kind of falling by the wayside here. Maybe not wanting to play the guessing game with Ness on if he's going to absorb it or not, or, you know, maybe just finding different ways to get these stocks taken. But I think he should lean a little bit more into it again.
It's definitely very solid earlier, but again, yeah, just having that nest there to shut down that that MVD B button game plan has been so huge for the blue team, and it has definitely come to fruition. Little up tilt to take MVD off the top there for that first stock.
Whoa!
And another one gone, and another one bites the dust immediately. And once again, we see a similar story to all Varun5, the last one to lose that first stock, but does so in short order. Minute and a half gone and 4 stocks across the board.
That's right. I mean, we got to keep this one airtight. We cannot elect to play super duper aggressive to the point to where we're not only not covering ourselves, but not covering each other anymore. We have to figure out a way to get these stocks taken as aggressively as possible while still maintaining a firm control of this game. That is a very tough thing to do, but we'll see how it all works out. MVD and MuteAce starting to bleed out just a little bit more. Blue team, I mean, what looked to be a cold start in the beginning, as if we kind of, you know, fell back into their laps comfortably.
Definitely, I get just on their groove here on Battlefield, right? Definitely happy to just kind of scrap it out, as it were. Definitely 2 scrappy characters, but you know, you can also say the same thing about the red team too, right? They're not uncomfortable with that CQC game plan, and they've been showing that off.
Oh, nice.
Goodbye. Aaron Judge is in the house.
Goes for the throw right into the F smash. Yes, and like you said, we just swinging for the fences
Sorry,
right there.
actually, famous Yankee fan MVD just got KO'd right there. So that's a Masataka Yoshida slam.
Ah, gotcha.
Thank you very much. You get to wear that humiliation of the Boston Red Sox taking you to the blast zone.
A little bit of lore right there, friends. Yes, Smashers are actual people, too. We have hobbies and interests outside of the game, if you didn't know.
If you didn't know that I like baseball, you need to unmute the commentary.
That's all.
And listen to me once in a while.
There you go.
Maybe follow me on Twitter at that.
There you go.
Hey.
And here we go. Both sides right here looking good, and it looks like MVD has equalized this a little bit in terms of stocks percents. Not quite. Stocks and percents no longer in their favor. Oh, my God. Varun5 and Beastly, I mean, again, just kind of piloting themselves into something here. Okay, nice. Back air's coming through. Nothing off the up smash. Not quite seeing that frame 6 up tilt come through anymore on MVD's behalf. Same with that F tilt. Or hell, even the downer in the corner. I mean, again, such a good get off me move, especially as somebody tries to go for a neutral get up at the ledge, but MVD kind of letting him off the hook. Gave him the day off, if you will. Same can't be said for Varun. No, I'm coming to get you, my boy. Or excuse me, Beastly.
Grab yourself for a moment. Definitely free time for a 2v1 right there with MVD all the way off stage. No double jump. And then a nice little back air to close that one out right there. 2v1. Definitely time for Beastly and Varun5 to send this to Mute. If you don't get off that ledge, I'm going to miss my movie.
There it is.
I swear to God. Get on stage and fight.
Okay, trying to hang out at the ledge. They want Kimona to miss the movie, the previews, and everything.
I'm going to be so mad at them if I'm late.
What film are you going to see?
The Haikyuu movie.
Oh, word, okay.
Going out there with a few of my Crunchyroll friends to go check it out, because it's been a good thing to look forward to.
I know that's right. Go out there and have yourself some fun. Okay,
it'll be good if I can get there on time. And so far, Mute definitely looking to make that a bit more difficult in the future. Definitely hanging on by a thread right now, 99%, and just floating. Come on!
Look, guy, but I gotta give it to him here. Look,
he's doing well. He's doing the right thing.
No, he's doing very, very well. You know, but we've seen him clutch these out before. The percent's starting to fall out of favor for the blue team. I mean, again, they have to figure out a way to put their minds together and sync up. 2v1s are a little different. I mean, on paper, you have the advantage because, you know, physically there's just 2 of you and 1 of your opponent. But now you have to worry about not tripping over each other's feet. It's like a 3-legged sack race or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Did I just combine 2 games? I think I combined 2 games right there. But you know what I mean.
We should see that at some point, though, honestly.
The 3-legged sack race, I'm here for it. Okay, put it up.
I think, honestly, you know, we can determine the rest of the set with one of those at this point. But might be unfair to Beastly and Varun5, who have now gotten themselves a 2-1 lead. On the verge of closing this one out. They just need 1 more.
That's right. But I don't think MVD and MuteAce are going to relinquish this next game with some relative ease. They're going to make them certainly work for it, if nothing else. And I think, you know, a lot of these 2 teams are coming down to the X Factor approaches. You know, you have Snake, who I think on any team is the X Factor. You know, being able to apply pressure from the other side of the room with your, you know, grenades, Nikitas, up smash, all that sort of jazz, but then also having the physical resiliency of having a strong CQC, frame 3 jab, down tilt, frame 4 F2. I mean, you can box like some of the best characters in the game, despite being a very lopsided design character. But then on the opposite side, it's been the Nest show. I mean, I love what happens when, you know, at the 11th hour, you allow Steve to just be Steve. Just turn your brain off and swing. I love it. But throughout the majority of that match, to get to that point, it's the Nest show. And they have yet to figure out a way to stop him. I mean, we didn't even see any turnips off stage anymore. That was a big thorn in Beastly's side in those earlier games.
Definitely one of the things that could stop him from getting backstage. But speaking of stages, we are back on Hollow Bastion for game number 4, which is, if you recall, I think this was the stage that Beastly and Varun picked in their game number 2 in Grand Finals when Beastly switched over to the Nest and they found that success. So Red Team trying to make the best of a bad situation. Pretty even going through the first 30 seconds, nobody making any too big crazy plays, and that's kind of been the story of the set. Like, obviously, if we're going to, this is the 9th game of Grand Finals. Clearly, these two teams are very evenly matched. It has been so back and forth that I don't know if anybody's had a winning streak. I think it has literally just been trading games every time.
Yeah, again, I think in order to get the winning streak that they probably want, you know, they have to play with a level of aggression that might not be suited to win this set. They might have to actually slow things down and start to lean into each other a little bit more.
I hope not.
Well, yeah, I know. I know you got places to be and things to see. I completely understand, Kimona. But, you know, same could be said for these 4 individuals on screen right now. The place to be, of course, is Dreamhack. The thing to see is that first place money, of course, courtesy of Monster Energy and all the other wonderful sponsors that had a helping hand in this. But it's a tough feat for sure. But I think the red team right now looking poised to take another stock. Oh, but not before I answer back with the stock of my own. I'm coming through with the cart.
And look at those stocks once again. It has just been the same story in every single game. It goes player 1, 2, and 3 lose those first 3 stocks, and Varun is holding on to it, doing just such a phenomenal, consistent job of stock tanking. Not being like the most incredible, impossible to kill individual on the planet, but definitely being able to stay alive for an amount of time. And by the way, I do want to say, you know, I jest a lot about how long this set is taking, but, you know, I would not have it any other way. I think that I love getting to see people exercise the different styles of play, being able to say, hey, here's an evenly matched set between people that like to play differently. And the fact that it goes so long shows, I mean, just how even after all this time, players can still run sets this even.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, as, you know, we're all leveling up in various ways in the Smash community. I mean, the players, I mean, we see it, you know, first and foremost. I mean, you know, I'd almost argue years ago, you know, to say that, you know, anybody would be in grand finals at a tournament of this stature versus MVD and MuteAce that weren't like nationally recognized players would be crazy. But the fact that the rest of the community has leveled up, I love this. Texas, of course, holding down the region the way that they always have. But again, I say it once, I'll say it again. You can't float around Snake for free. We're starting to see kind of the result of that, up till not allowing any sort of free access above the head of Snake. Shutting it down. Whoa, you tried it.
Ooh, yeah, but Beastly recognized, right, with Mute just kind of floating underneath him, that something was coming, so DIing out of that situation. If he had lost that stock so early, then that definitely would have spelled the end for Blue Team in this game number 4, but things stay relatively even, although honestly that is a lot of percentage built up on Varun5 trying to maneuver around the Nikita. Does so successfully, but there does go that Beastly stock. He has to share it. That means Varun is down onto his last stock, and that means that a game 5 is looming.
That's right. It is around the corner. It's in the neighborhood. It just has to figure out what house you need to be at. But wait a minute. I may have spoke too soon. The Anvil getting it done. Now, the Anvil had a hard time getting done. Oh, wait.
I did not speak too soon.
Whoa.
I can see the future, Rodney. I can see that
show.
Game 10 of Grand Finals is what we're going to.
That's right. It ain't done just
Whew.
yet, friends. It is the final match here of the doubles tournament, friends. If you're just tuning in, you missed a wonderful event. But you know what, though? There's a lot more event tomorrow. We still got to get through this game at 10 in the bracket resets. You won't want to miss this. So check this out, just to catch you guys up to speed. MuteAce and MVD. Moving and grooving through this doubles bracket. Fell a little bit earlier than what they probably had liked to, or really at all. Obviously, nobody wants to fall. But fell a little bit earlier than they probably expected, but fought their way long and hard here into the reset, into the game 10. Now, we've seen a lot of different characters use. We've seen some Palutena. We've seen a little Incineroar, a little bit of Snake. But these 4 characters are going to be the final ones to get the job done on somebody's side. Let's get it.
We're talking about those character switches, right? Mute has gone back and forth between the Palu and the Peach. Beastly has been predominantly on the Diddy Kong throughout the doubles bracket, but has found a lot of success here in Grand Finals with the Ness, and that is what is going to stick around for this final game. The Game 10 of Grand Finals, Game 5 of the reset, and no team, I don't believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that anybody has had a streak of wins in this Grand Finals that has literally just been trading wins the whole time, and that just goes to show how intense this has been and how 50-50 this matchup has been so far. But a quick first stock taken off of MVD.
That's right, MVD, unfortunately the first to drop a stock, and like I was kind of prophesizing before, is, you know, kind of the X factor on his team. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean, this is just MVD, one of the most, you know, poised snakes in the world. You know, anybody who's playing with you on their team, being, you know, one of the best doubles players also to ever pick up the controller, you know, you kind of dictate where this match is going to go. You know your role, but they're focusing on you for an obvious reason. Oh, but you need to focus on the receiving end of this boot. Love that.
A boot to the head, as they say. Definitely getting that first stock off of Varun, who again has mostly been the stock tank, but Beastly getting a little bit more healing in this game as well, and kind of changing it up, letting the zombie be on the front lines to start dealing some damage, and it looks like it is working out. You see a lot of red numbers on that red team side, and how about another stock taken with that brutal forward air and an up smash. A big team from a big lead from blue team, maybe one of the biggest leads we've seen in all of this Grand Finals.
I think so. Maybe they were saving the best for last. They had a trick up with those 3D sleeves right there of Steve's, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, oh, wait a minute. MVD answering back with a little bit of aggression of his own. Doesn't go for the back throw there that time. Wants a little bit of grab armor, so goes for the down throw. Smart.
Yeah, down throw to let his teammate potentially follow up on it. And yeah, like you said, also that additional armor saving him from the wrath of Beastly, who nearly takes him off the top one more time. But MVD able to hold on now in that 1v1 against Varun. He's able to escape somehow, some way, but not from this. The forward smash to the back at Tout Brute.
Oh my goodness, and with this being said, we have reached one of the more unspoken parts here, a spot that I don't think we've seen throughout any of this sides, you know what I'm saying, matches back and forth. It has been such a narrow finish to the very end, but the blue team has pulled away in a way that I don't know if Snake is going to be able to bring himself out of.
Well, Beastly with that back air, no double jump. MVD's got to go high. He's able to make it back even without a C4 with that air dodge. Staying alive like the BG said, but no white suit right now. MVD just
oh my God.
razor's edge right now.
Oh, yeah. It's not looking good. All the way back down. PK Thunder on the harassment, just looking for that nickel and dime damage, just chiseling away at him. That way when he gets back onto the ground, back throw could be present.
You will not escape. 147 now. All Beastly needs to do is plant one aerial or one throw. Even Varun could come in with a forward air or a back air and end it. How about an up throw? It's not enough on Battlefield. MVD at 187, hanging on and falls out of the up smash. But there goes the Cypher to the anvil. Dallas has been defended by Beastly and Varun5 in an intense 10-game Grand Finals.